पूरी दुनिया को एक वादा किया है और हम ग्लोबल वार्मिंग को जो चैलेंज मानते हैं उसमें हम सिर्फ अपनी संवेदना व्यक्त कर करके अटकने वाले नहीं है, हम सॉल्यूशन देने वाले लोग हैं। और हमने 500 गीगावाट का लक्ष्य टारगेट किया है और 2030 तक मुझे करना है। और उसमें मैं न्यूक्लियर की तरफ भी उतना ही जाना चाहता हूं, हाइड्रो पर भी जाना चाहता हूं, सोलार पर भी जाना चाहता हूं, विंड पर भी जाना चाहता हूं। उसी प्रकार से हमने बायोफ्यूल की पॉलिसी बनाई है, उसकी दिशा में भी एक बहुत बड़ा काम। और आपने G20 समिट में भी हमारे जो आउटकम है उसमें बायोफ्यूल की बात आपके ध्यान में आई होगी। भारत उसको लीड करना चाहता है। मैं चाहूंगा ऐसे अनेक क्षेत्र हैं एनर्जी से जुड़े हुए जिसके कारण ग्रीन जॉब की पूरी संभावना है, उसके लिए भी हम काफी इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं। मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा आप आइए। हम देश में दूसरे प्रकार से भी एनवायरनमेंट को एड्रेस करना है, जैसे हमारी स्क्रैपिंग पॉलिसी। ये इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है। मैं सरकार के सारे पुराने व्हीकल स्क्रैप करने की दिशा में जा रहा हूं। इतने बड़े देश में सारे पुराने व्हीकल स्क्रैप होना है, इतना बड़ा काम है। अगर आपकी कंपनियां मान लीजिए इन्वेस्टमेंट करें या खुद इस दिशा में आए, और उसके कारण इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का बहुत बड़ा नया मार्केट बनेगा। जैसे मेरे मन में है कि मैं मेरे देश की मेरी पहली प्रायोरिटी सारे एम्बुलेंसेस, जितने पुराने एम्बुलेंस हैं उन सारे एम्बुलेंस को स्क्रैप कर देना और उन सबको नए, और वो भी हाइब्रिड इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल भी हो और हमारे जो रेगुलर जिस प्रकार का फ्यूल का उपयोग करते हैं, ताकि कभी एम्बुलेंस को रुकने की नौबत ना आ जाए। अब आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं हिंदुस्तान जैसे इतने बड़े देश में कितनी बड़ी आवश्यकता होगी पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट। तो स्क्रैपिंग का एक ऐसा बड़ा क्षेत्र है, अगर आप वहां की कंपनियों को फाइनेंस की मदद कर सकते हैं और थोड़ा शुरू में, क्योंकि एक प्रकार से ग्लोबल गुड के लिए है, ये एनवायरनमेंट की दृष्टि से बहुत बड़ा काम है, तो आपके लिए एक बहुत बड़ा अवसर के रूप में। आप जानते हैं मैं पहले भी कह चुका हूं, रिफॉर्म के क्षेत्र में मेरी सरकार बहुत प्रतिबद्ध है और हम रिफॉर्म हमारे देश की आवश्यकता, हमारे देश के भविष्य को ध्यान में रख के कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड को मीट करने वाले रिफॉर्म्स भी कर रहे हैं। और रिफॉर्म परफॉर्म ट्रांसफॉर्म करके संकल्प को लेकर के हम चल रहे हैं। और जैसा गौतम जी ने उल्लेख भी किया मेरे लास्ट भाषण का, मैं तो कहूंगा हम रिफॉर्म करेंगे, आप परफॉर्म कीजिए। अवसर ही अवसर है और इसलिए मैं आप सबको, और आप जानते हैं जहां तक पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से दुनिया में हमारा जितना है हिस्सा, पहली बार हम उस स्थिति पर पहुंचे हैं कि हमारे पॉपुलेशन का जितना परसेंटेज है उतना ही परसेंटेज, उससे +1 हम ग्लोबल गुड में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। यानी एक वैश्विक जिम्मेवारियों को संतुलित रूप से निभाना, ये बहुत कम लोग कर सकते हैं जो आज इतना बड़ा भारत देश कर रहा है। तो मैं मानता हूं कि इसको आप आगे जाकर के अपने फायदे में भी कैसे बदल सकते हैं। आप देखते हैं फिनटेक ने दुनिया में, भारत के पास टैलेंट भी है, उसका लाभ तो मिलेगा, लेकिन भारत के लोग टेक्नोलॉजी के एडॉप्ट करने में कितने तेज है। आज फिनटेक की दुनिया में हमारा यूपीआई, फाइनेंशियल डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन, दुनिया में जितना रियल टाइम ट्रांजैक्शन होता है उसका 50% अकेले इंडिया में होता है। इसका मतलब ये ऐसा क्षेत्र है कि जिसमें, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि फिनटेक की दुनिया में अगर ग्लोबल लीडर बनना है तो भारत को केंद्र बिंदु बना करके बड़ी आसानी से आप फिनटेक की दुनिया में आप आगे आ सकते हैं। स्टार्टअप के अंदर हमने काफी रिफॉर्म की है। इस बजट में भी हमने स्टार्टअप को काफी रिलैक्सेशन दिए हैं। भारत में टियर 2, टियर 3 सिटी में भी बहुत तेजी से स्टार्टअप ग्रो कर रहे हैं। 10 साल के भीतर भीतर हम करीब 10 साल पहले 100 स्टार्टअप थे, आज करीब करीब 100,000 से भी ज्यादा स्टार्टअप है। बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में ग्लोबली लोग इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं और सक्सेसफुल स्टोरी है कि बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में उसमें से यूनिकॉर्न्स बन रहे हैं। मैं चाहूंगा कि आपके यहां जो फाइनेंस के वर्ल्ड से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, भारत के स्टार्टअप की दुनिया को अगर तराशेंगे तो उनके सामने बहुत बड़ी संभावना है। हम बहुत एग्रेसिवली सेमीकंडक्टर के क्षेत्र में जा रहे हैं। अब तक करीब 5 कंपनियां ऑलरेडी अपना काम शुरू कर चुकी हैं, आगे भी औरों की संभावनाएं हैं और हम पूरी इकोसिस्टम को लाने वाले हैं। हम कोई एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा एक आध हिस्सा करके अटकने वाले नहीं है। भारत के पास टैलेंट है। आज दुनिया में जितने भी चिप्स हैं, अगर उसका राइटिंग का काम है में हो रहा है, सब बड़ी कंपनियों के रिसर्च यूनिट वहीं पर है। अब हम चाहते हैं कि हम खुद ही यहां पर उस दिशा में आगे बढ़े, तो आपके लिए वो भी एक बहुत बड़ा स्कोप है। भारत में एक स्टेबिलिटी है, पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी है, लेकिन हम हमारी नीतियों में प्रिडिक्टेबल नीतियां लेकर के चल रहे हैं, लेकिन प्रोग्रेसिव पॉलिसी लेकर के भी चल रहे हैं। हम दुनिया में जो भी संभावना है उन नीतियों को और लिए काफी ओपन हो, कोई सीक्रेसी और फिर बाद में जाकर के कुछ दूसरा और फिर कोई तीसरी डेफिनेशन, हम उस दिशा में जाने वाले लोगों में से नहीं है। एंड एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ, पूरे कमिटमेंट के साथ दुनिया के सब लोगों को आ रहे हैं। आज मैं सिंगापुर में इतने बड़े महत्वपूर्ण फोरम में बैठा हूं तो मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूं, भारत तो प्रगति कर रहा है, लेकिन भारत में जो सरकार है वो सरकार पिछले 10 साल में जो काम किया है उससे 3 गुना काम इस 5 साल में करने के मिजाज से काम कर रही है। वो विश्वास लेकर के हम कर रहे हैं। अभी मेरी सरकार नहीं हुए है, अंदर सिर्फ हमारे जो नीति निर्णय हुए हैं, शायद दुनिया के किसी देश में 5 साल में जो निर्णय नहीं हो सकते होंगे वो मेरे 100 डेज में हुए हैं। हमारी स्पीड है, स्केल भी आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं। सिर्फ हमने गरीबों के लिए घर बनाए, 4 करोड़ घर। अब ये यानी कितने सिंगापुर बन जाए, 4 करोड़ घर, यानी ये स्केल है। हमारे यहां करीब 100 सिटीज मेट्रो बनने वाला है। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एक बहुत बड़ा काम है, नए सिटीज की हमारी जरूरत है, वो एक बहुत बड़ा काम है। यानी मैं कहता हूं कि स्काई इज द लिमिट वाली व्याख्या भी भारत के लिए छोटी पड़ती है, क्योंकि हम तो स्पेस में भी उतना ही काम कर रहे हैं। स्पेस में आज दुनिया में हमने जिस प्रकार से काम किया है और स्पेस को हमने ओपन अप कर दिया है। मेरे यहां पॉलिसी में अब स्पेस को हमने सरकारी एक इकाई के रूप में नहीं रखा है, इसको हमने ओपन अप किया है। आज सिर्फ स्पेस में मेरे यहां 200 से ज्यादा स्टार्टअप्स हैं और 22-25 साल के बच्चे खुद अपने सैटेलाइट लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। यानी आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं कि कितना तेजी से विकास हो रहा है। और इस विकास की यात्रा में मैं आप सबको भागीदार बनने के लिए निमंत्रण देता हूं। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, आप सबने समय निकाला। आप में से बहुत से साथी हैं जिनको कभी न कभी मुझे मिलने का अवसर मिला है। कुछ लोगों से सामूहिक मिला हूं, कुछ लोगों से व्यक्तिगत मिला हूं। जब मैं सिंगापुर में आप सबसे मिलता हूं तो मुझे ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि मैं किसी नए लोगों को मिल रहा हूं या नई बात सुन रहा हूं। तो इतना हमारे बीच में, और शायद किसी एक सरकार के साथ इतना निकट ओपन नाता बन जाए, ऐसा बहुत रेयर होता है। जो आज मैं देखता हूं कि सिंगापुर के बिजनेस वर्ल्ड का भारत की सरकार के साथ है। ये मेरे लिए सबसे बड़े संतोष की बात है कि आप सबको लग रहा है कहा यार ये सरकार हमारी है, ये सरकार हमारा सुनती है, ये सरकार में हम खुलकर कुछ कह भी सकते हैं। ये नाता जो है वो हमारी सबसे बड़ी पूंजी है। और इसलिए मैं आप सबसे आग्रह करूंगा कि अवसर है, अवसर को जाने मत दीजिए और जितने भी नए क्षेत्रों में आप आना चाहते हैं मैं तैयार हूं। कुछ क्षेत्र ऐसे होंगे कि जिसमें शायद हमारे पास नीति नहीं होगी, आप लेकर के आइए, मैं नई नीति बनाने के लिए तैयार हूं। लेकिन भारत संभावनाओं का क्षेत्र है। इन संभावनाओं के क्षेत्र को आप अपने नसीब के लिए उपयोग कीजिए और आपके लिए फिर कभी कोई रुकावट नहीं होगी, ये मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं। मैं फिर एक बार आप दोनों महाशय यहाँ इस समय निकाल करके आए, मैं आपका भी बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Well, that was the Prime Minister speaking at the Business Summit in Singapore. It is a roundtable conversation that the Prime Minister had with the top CEOs in Singapore and also urging them and also welcoming them to invest in Viksit Bharat. He spoke about the success of UPI, the success of India in the space sector, and also India's policies towards a greener and better future for not just India, but for the entire world as well. Now let's shift our focus to what happened in Karnataka. A bus carrying students collided with another government bus on the outskirts of a city called Manu in Karnataka, where 3 people have died and several others are critically injured. Take a look at this report.
A school bus and a transport bus collided in Karnataka's Raichur district. The accident took place when a bus carrying students from Loyola School collided with a government transport bus heading towards Raichur on the outskirts of Manvi. 32 students were travelling in the bus. At least 2 were killed in this incident. Videos of the aftermath show the horrific nature of the accident and the injured students and their bags strewn on the ground. The students were heard crying out in pain. Local residents gathered at the scene to aid in relief efforts. The impact of the crash was so severe that few of the children's legs were amputated. 3 of the children are in critical condition and the other injured are undergoing treatment at various hospitals.
It's time for the other top stories that we're tracking in Bharat in 2 minutes. Torrential rains in Jodhpur halted flying operations during phase 2 of exercise Yuva Shakti 2024. The air warriors from friendly foreign countries turned this pause into an opportunity, the second leg of India's largest multilateral air exercise. The exercise Yuva Shakti 2024 is being held at Air Force Station Jodhpur from August 30th to September 13th. The air forces of Australia, Greece, Sri Lanka, UAE, Japan, Singapore and the United States are taking part in the war drills. After meeting with Prime Minister of Singapore, Prime Minister Modi announced that a Thiruvalluvar Cultural Centre will open in Singapore to promote and preserve Tamil language, civilization and culture. After this, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tweeted about the Prime Minister's announcement regarding the Cultural Centre. Shiv Sena's Uddhav Thackeray will not be the Chief Minister face of the Mahavikas Aghadi in the Maharashtra Assembly elections. The Congress and NCP have decided not to accept his face as the CM face for the upcoming polls. Both the parties have stated that the candidate who wins more number of seats will become the Chief Minister. Sharad Pawar has emphasized that the person with the most MLAs will be the next Maharashtra Chief Minister. The Joint Parliamentary Committee is holding the third meeting on the Waqf Amendment Bill today. The meeting witnessed participation of leaders from various sectors. Congress MP K. Suresh stated that there is a strong objection to this bill from various Muslim organizations in Kerala which demand the withdrawal of the bill.
Chairman of Joint Parliamentary Committee of Waqf Board Bill, which was moved in the Lok Sabha. Then Parliament, both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, constituted a Joint Parliamentary Committee for examining the bill, Waqf Board Bill. So in Kerala, this bill is very strong objection from the various Muslim organizations. They demand to withdraw this bill, totally withdraw this bill. This is the demand from the various Muslim organizations in Kerala.
BJP leader Lakshman Napa has resigned from the primary membership of the party following Napa's resignation. BJP has fielded former Sirsa MP Sunita Duggal from the Ratia Assembly constituency for the upcoming Haryana Assembly polls. Meanwhile, the BJP has renominated MLA Leela Ram Gurjar for the Kaital Assembly seat.
Just days after Prime Minister Modi's visit to Russia and Ukraine and his calls with Putin and Biden, Russian President Vladimir Putin, for the first time in quite a long time, has come out and said that he's ready for peace and mediation talks. Interestingly, he has named India as one of the countries who can come and play the role of the mediator. For more on this story, stay tuned to Republic TV as we come right back with more news and updates.
Director, The Taste of Success.
He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee, and shook up the world. Born in 1942 as Cassius Clay Jr., Muhammad Ali was destined for greatness right from the start.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali.
At the age of 18, he won the Olympic gold. At 22, he shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston to become a heavyweight champion. But it wasn't just his victories, his records that makes Muhammad Ali special. It was how he won. He was not just a fighter, he was a poet in motion. His footwork was unlike anything boxing had ever seen. Quick, elusive and graceful. Ali revolutionized the sport with his unorthodox style. He did not only beat his opponents physically, he outsmarted them. So here's why Muhammad Ali has been hailed as the greatest ever. Ali won the Olympic gold at 18 years of age to kickstart the legendary career in the year 1960. In 1964, he became the world champion, defeating Sonny Liston to claim his first heavyweight title. Sometimes people start, scrutinizing you also. Does it really affect you?
Like they were not there when you actually needed somebody's help or somebody's love or somebody's appreciation. So it doesn't really bother me that much.
You're really talking very wisely, and I can't help but break up the statement you gave about Bhagavad Gita. Yes. And I could see the impact it has had on you the way you're speaking right now. So how has it really helped you? If you could tell our viewers, you read it daily, or how does it really come to your life?
So my mother is a Sanskrit and Hindi lecturer, and since childhood she is the one who actually kept me very disciplined and very what I had to do on priority. For example, if I have to do my homework or follow my routine and everything, she's the kind of person who would be like, you have to do it, that's your priority, do that first, and after that only I'll allow you for something else. So she kept me very disciplined and everything throughout my life. And now, so initially she only told me about Bhagavad Gita and everything. So she is the person who is like, she tells me about history, she tells me about Indian mythology, or I say it history, Indian history I say. So she tells me about all these stories and the actual history of India. And then now I was like, you know what, I should probably start reading Gita thoroughly. And I have this meditation guru who actually tells me 2 or 3 verses every day, so that, you know, it helps me in my general life as well. Because how old...
Largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Of Hindus in Bangladesh are pouring into our newsrooms while the Yunus government meets terrorists in Bangladesh. This is one of our top stories that we are covering today. Let's go to that more after the headlines.
Presented by Royal Global University, Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch pano.
August 10 notice by Mamata's department exposes cover-up. Room next to crime scene asked to be demolished. Big controversy over Himachal minister's remark on illegal mosque. Shimla residents stage protest. Hearing underway in 2020 Delhi riots case. State alleges Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid led the riots. In a spine-chilling interview, actor Soumya narrates how she was assaulted and raped by influential director. After back-to-back attacks, Hindus now being profiled, but Yunus says issue is being exaggerated. Vladimir Putin bats for peace talks, says China, India and Brazil could act as mediators.
Presented by Royal Global University, Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch pano.
Getting in a big breaking news. Following Wikipedia's failure to comply with High Court order, the Delhi High Court has issued contempt of court notice to Wikipedia. The High Court further added that if they don't like India, that is Wikipedia, if it doesn't like India, then they should stop working in India. This is over a case of defamation that has been filed by ANI against Wikipedia. And Wikipedia was told by the High Court earlier to disclose information which it failed to do, and now a contempt of court notice has been issued by the Delhi High Court. So this is the news coming in from the national capital, where the Delhi High Court has slapped Wikipedia with a contempt of court notice. More details coming in on this story. This is over the case of slander that has been made by ANI against Wikipedia. According to ANI, Wikipedia had permitted defamatory alterations on its page, and Wikipedia had allowed the edited information that called ANI the government's propaganda tool, quote unquote propaganda tool. Here's a reaction coming in from the BJP on this story. Let's listen in.
So what we have seen that Delhi High Court has issued contempt of court order to Wikipedia for not complying with its order?
Any order of the Honorable Supreme Court or the Honorable High Court in a state, and in this case the Delhi High Court, has to be complied with. The law of the land is going to apply equally. If an organization is not going to follow the law of the land, then they have to ensure that they cannot exist here. Because as an old phrase goes, if you are in Rome, you will do as the Romans do. Basically, the law of the land will apply to anybody and everybody who is there. Nobody can say they are beyond the law of the land, and especially if a change is taking place about somebody's reputation within the country and the court is asking for those information, one cannot shield themselves from submitting to the majesty of the court.
What we have seen that the court has further said that if you don't like to work India, don't work for India, right? So these are the very strong statements given by the court.
A strong statement is required in the contempt jurisdiction. If the court proceedings are in some way or the other if someone is choosing to disregard a court order, a court direction, then they are inviting a contempt proceeding. And obviously a strong observation will flow in that. Contempt proceedings are not proceedings that would otherwise happen. They are proceedings that are serious proceedings, and the court is in a way expressing its anguish to someone who is not complying with its directions.
In its order, court further noted that they will request the government to block Wikipedia.
That is for the government to see, and I will not be able to comment on that. Under due process, if a certain organization does not comply with a court order, and particularly if it is being represented by any lawyer on its behalf, then the court may issue a direction to an agency that deals with it or the government at large, the government as a whole, to consider what are the other options, including closure.
A notice to demolish the room adjacent to the seminar hall at RG Medical College was sent from the office of then Principal Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. This came just a day after the body of Abhaya was recovered on August 9. The following day, a meeting was held in the principal's office, resulting in an order to break down rooms and toilets used by on-duty doctors in various departments. And we have the copy of the notice of demolition that was issued by the principal's office. In this order copy, you can see that it is 3 times. You can see the desperation of the Mamata government. They mention that the demolition should be implemented on an urgent basis, that the demolition should be conducted immediately. 3 times the notice asks for the demolition to be conducted urgently and immediately and immediately. I am being joined by my colleague Kishale from Republic Bangla. Kishale, please take us through the detail of this case. If you
can ask that question again. I believe there is some audio issue in this.
Kishale, about the notice of demolition that has come to the forefront, exposing the possible involvement of the highest chair of Mamata's government. If you could elaborate on that for us.
Well, exactly, Pragya. Now, just not a possibility, but this is clear evidence. I have that letter, that notice behind me in this surface, and I'll show you, Pragya, how the whole demolition was done in a systemic manner. This notice by the office of the principal RG, the memo number is RKC 4197, dated 10th of August 2024. I'll remind our viewers that on 9th, the brutal rape and murder happened. On 10th, this notice is being given out to the executive engineer, PWD, civil and electrical. Now, what does it say? It says that repair, renovation and reconstruction of on-duty doctor's room. Now, this on-duty doctor's room is just beside the seminar hall where Abhaya was found. That seminar hall is just a few meters away from this doctor's room. And this needs to be done on an urgent basis is what Sandeep Ghosh is saying here. He is also saying, you are hereby requested to do the needful immediately. Immediately the demolition has to be done. And now the proof that West Bengal government's highest authority was aware about this comes here. the issue is already discussed and resolved in the meeting with Principal Secretary, Department of Health. This is Narayan Swarup Nigam, and he was aware about this whole thing. And Sandeep Ghosh is saying that today in the boardroom of PIB of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, there was a meeting with the Health Secretary where this decision was taken. Please do the needful immediately. Again, Sandeep Ghosh says, here is Sandeep Ghosh's signature, dated 10/8/2024. Now, just in order to make our viewers understand the seriousness of this issue, there's a body of a doctor of the same medical college found in that horrific condition. She was raped and murdered, and the next day the principal of that organization sits in a meeting with the health secretary of the state in that same hospital and decides that the room adjacent to where the body was found will be destroyed, demolished, and reconstruction work will be done immediately. And as soon as this letter was issued, as soon as this whole notice was issued, the construction work started in a few hours. But in West Bengal, we know that there's a huge delay in government works usually. When a notice is being served, then the work starts after many weeks. And this work started in a few hours and the whole room was demolished. Therefore, it is very evident that Narayan Swarup Nigam himself, the health secretary, was in RG Kar, sitting with this Sandeep Ghosh, planning the demolition of the crime site, and the tampering of evidence was strategically done in a way so that later on no evidence is found, is what the people of West Bengal and the junior doctors are saying. They are saying this is a planned move by the state administration, and the greatest proof in that matter is the health secretary himself was present, who is very close to Mamata Banerjee, and they decided together to destroy and demolish the room adjacent to the seminar hall. This is a chilling piece of fact which completely turns the way the case was investigated before. Now this evidence completely puts all the light on the state administration and how there was an endeavor to destroy evidence at the highest level. Pragya.
And it's so shocking that 5 days after, I believe on 15th August, the crime scene was also vandalized, and there was this entire attempt. Now I think it's safe to say that there was an attempt to make it look as if there was no demolition, that the crime scene was tampered only due to vandalism.
Well, Pragya, there were multiple attempts to tamper evidence at the crime scene. First attempt, after the body is found, multiple strangers, unknown people and people close to TMC and Sandeep Ghosh reached at the location even before the family was called. They were there in the vicinity of the body and they were clearly walking around, touching things, tampering with the evidence. First attempt. Second attempt, the room adjacent to the seminar hall, like I showed in this letter, in this notice, it was demolished by the approval of the highest authority. Third attempt, a huge crowd went there, completely destroyed many departments of the hospital, including the emergency, and they tried to destroy this particular seminar hall as well, because we heard people saying that let's go to the seminar hall. There are video clips where these goons are saying we have to go to the seminar hall now. That is what they were saying. Therefore, 3 clear attempts to destroy the seminar hall and adjacent areas. All these attempts only imply that it was done with the approval of the highest authority, and now we have this piece of evidence where it's written clearly. I will clear this mark so that I can show again to our viewers. The issue is already discussed and resolved in the meeting with the Principal Secretary, Department of Health and Family Affairs, Government of West Bengal. And where is it decided? Today in the boardroom. It is decided today in the boardroom of RG Kar Medical College, signed by Sandeep Ghosh. So it is clear They were sitting inside the boardroom of RG Kar Hospital where a body of their doctor, their colleague was found. A doctor, lady doctor is murdered, raped, completely blood all around. They are sitting in a meeting about reconstruction of a toilet and doctor's on-call room. Do they think that the people of West Bengal are foolish not to understand this clear attempt to tamper with the evidence not once but thrice? Pragya.
Kishalai, thank you for that update. We are closely following this story, the investigation being done by Republic Bangla. Moving on to another story from Bangladesh now. There is a video that is going viral on social media where a Hindu boy is reportedly being brutally lynched in the presence of the police, of Bangladeshi police. The persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh continues hours after Republic broke the story that Hindu bureaucrats are being profiled, they are being identified by their name by the interim Bangladesh government. Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus has now said that the issue of attacks on Hindu minorities in Bangladesh is exaggerated. This same statement was made by a BNP leader, senior BNP leader on our channel yesterday, and a clear attempt to downplay or completely brush under the carpet the attack on Hindus. In fact, there are reports that a Hindu boy was killed over blasphemy allegations, a video of which is going viral on social media. And reports claim that he was killed in the presence of the Bangladeshi police. My colleague Rakshita will be joining us on this story, which we are closely covering. Profiling of Hindus is being done, Hindu officials is being done in Bangladesh so that they can be identified. And then you get reports of persecution of minorities and Hindus in Bangladesh. Rakshita, coming to you, joining us from Republic Newsroom. Rakshita, what is the latest update that we have?
Well, this comes right after we have got our viewers the reports on the profiling, as you mentioned, about the officers in Bangladesh. And, right from the moment Sheikh Hasina fled the country, we've seen how the radical extremists took on the streets, and there was a clear state of anarchy in Bangladesh, and it was quite visible the way many of the extremist leaders were given a free run. We saw the videos that came out, and this man, Muhammad Yunus, remember, he's a Nobel Peace Laureate, and there's an expectation that he will bring about peace and resolve the situation, and bring about some peace in Bangladesh. But clearly, he is not at all serious about his job and what he's known for, maybe, because he says that these claims are exaggerated. Now, what does it mean when he says these are exaggerated? There are more than 200 cases of attacks against minorities that have been recorded in the past 1 month, and this is a proof enough how this is a never seen before situation in a country like Bangladesh. Yes, there have been attacks for decades against minorities, but the way the Sheikh Hasina government was toppled and those scenes that had emerged right after those rioting situation on the streets of Dhaka and beyond as a clear message. And the way he spoke to the Prime Minister of India, and now he says that I've told the Prime Minister that it was exaggerated. He also talks about that it has several dimensions. He talks about that there is an upheaval in the country. But the fact remains that there were attacks. He has to accept the fact, and in a way he is accepting it, but to play it down, it is almost criminal here, Pragya, because we've seen videos emerging of Hindus who are literally pleading how their homes have been ransacked. To trivialize this matter by saying that there are many dimensions to it actually shows the potential intentions of this new interim government of Bangladesh, and raises an alarm also for the minorities in the country.
Rakshita, thank you for that update. We will keep coming back to you, following this story closely from the neighboring country of Bangladesh, where situation is grim for the minorities. Moving on to some top stories from across the country, let's have a look. A large number of people gathered outside Sanjoli Masjid in Shimla to protest against the alleged illegal construction of the mosque. The mosque's construction has been the center of a heated debate in Himachal Pradesh, with around 44 hearings already held in the court regarding the matter.
मस्जिद है ये अवैध बनी हुई है, जिसमें कि कल अनिरुद्ध सिंह जी ने भी विधानसभा में अपनी बात रखी है। ये 4 मंजिलें इसकी अवैध है। अगर यह हमारा आधा इंच छज्जा भी बढ़ता है तो उसे तुरंत तोड़ दिया जाता है। 10 सालें हो गई है, ये इस मस्जिद पर कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं हो रही है? और हम चाहते हैं कि अवैध जो मस्जिद है ये यहाँ पर गिरनी चाहिए, ये हमारी मांग है।
Rahul Gandhi, who has begun his poll campaign in Jammu and Kashmir, stated that his party would restore statehood to Jammu and Kashmir after coming to power. In response, former Union Minister Anurag Thakur has said that the Home Ministry had clearly stated that Kashmir would be granted full state status once assembly elections are held.
धारा 370 को हटाने के बाद यहाँ पथराबाजी की घटनाओं को खत्म किया, यहाँ आतंकवाद अलगाववाद को कुचलने का काम किया, यहाँ पर पीस, प्रॉस्पेरिटी और प्रोग्रेस, शांति, विकास, समृद्धता, संपन्नता, इसको लाने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया है। यहाँ की जनता में खुशी है, तभी तो राहुल गांधी जी और प्रियंका गांधी जी यहाँ आकर बर्फ के गोलों के साथ खेल सकते हैं।
Security has been heightened in Jammu and Kashmir ahead of the assembly elections following a terrorist encounter near Thanmandi in Rajpuri district. Additional security personnel have been deployed on highways and vital road links in Srinagar and adjacent districts to prevent any untoward incident. Haryana Cabinet Minister Chaudhry Ranjit Singh Chautala resigned from his position in the Nayab Saini cabinet. Chautala expressed his frustration with the BJP for not giving him a ticket from Rania assembly seat. He announced his intention to contest the elections from Rania and emphasized his determination to demonstrate his strength through a roadshow. The VHP and Delhi Sant Mahamandal submitted an MOU to Union Home Minister Amit Shah concerning the atrocities against Hindu minorities in Bangladesh. The General Secretary of Delhi Sant Mahamandal, Mahamandaleshwar, stated that they met with the Home Minister to express their concerns about the situation of Hindu community.
आदरणीय गृह मंत्री जी से हम लोग मिले, संतों के साथ और परिषद के अधिकारियों के साथ। उनने हमें बड़ी गंभीरता से सुना है। हमने चिंता व्यक्त की है कि वहाँ का जो हिंदू है वो बांग्लादेश का ही नागरिक है और अपने नागरिक की रक्षा करना वहाँ की सरकार का कर्तव्य होता है, तो उन्हें करना चाहिए। और मुझे लगता है हमारी सरकार ने कहा है कि जो प्रारंभ में हुआ सो हुआ, अब किसी हिंदू के साथ अन्याय नहीं होगा। उसके लिए हम सतत वहाँ की सरकार से संपर्क में हैं और हम हिंदुओं की रक्षा करें।
2 people died and 3 are in critical condition after a bus carrying 32 students from Loyola School on the outskirts of the city in Manu in Karnataka collided with a government transport bus that was heading towards Raichur. Few of the injured children's legs have been amputated and many are grievously injured. 6 Maoists were killed and 2 security personnel were injured during an operation carried out in the Bhadradri Kothagudam district of Telangana. This incident was reported near the border of Chhattisgarh. The operation was conducted by the Telangana Greyhounds, resulting in a cache of weapons being recovered. This incident comes just a few days after 9 Maoists were eliminated in another encounter operation by the security forces. Following a major storm in the Malayalam film industry, Mollywood representatives from the Karnataka film industry, including social activist Vijay Amma, actor Chetan and Shruti Hariharan, met with Karnataka CM Siddaramaiah. The delegation requested for the formation of a committee similar to the Justice Hema Committee to address their concerns. The Film Industry for Rights and Equality has supported the demand and called for a government-backed committee to investigate the sandalwood film industry.
He talked nicely, he took the report, but at the same he took the petition with 153 names from inside the industry and outside. But he also asked a question. He asked a question, he said while he was leaving with 1 minute, he said, I'll talk to you later. But he said, is there really sexual harassment in the film industry? Now, he asked the question, is there truly sexual harassment? We said, yes, we are all fighting. We have people who have been victims of it. We will give you evidence through complaints. we will give you anything, then we will definitely show him that. But if this question is really an intentional lack of awareness, we can teach and we can explain and we can show him evidence.
The Biden administration has announced a wide-ranging actions meant to call out an alleged Russian influence in the upcoming US presidential election, unsealing criminal charges against 2 employees of a Russian state-run media company and seizing internet domains used by the Kremlin to spread disinformation. Here's a report.
It's 2016. Republican candidate Donald Trump comes to power. Soon after, there's a buzz suggesting Russian interference in the US elections. Is the suspicion back to haunt the American democracy once again? The Biden administration seized Kremlin-run websites and charged 2 Russian state media employees in its most sweeping effort.
Foreign governments should know that we will not tolerate foreign malign actors intentionally interfering and undermining free and fair elections. The United States will continue to both expose these state-sponsored actors who attempt to undermine our democratic institutions and hold them accountable for those actions.
The administration has justified their actions under the garb of Russian attempts to spread disinformation ahead of the November presidential elections. Washington has said that Moscow, which intelligence officials have said has a preference for Republican Donald Trump, remains the primary threat to elections. The United States further went on to drag Russian media RT into this situation surrounding a disinformation campaign.
According to information made public today by the Department of Justice, we now know that RT, formerly known as Russia Today, has moved beyond being simply a media organization. We know that RT has contracted with a private company to pay unwitting Americans millions of dollars to carry the Kremlin's message to influence the US elections and undermine democracy. RT's leadership has created and directed this enterprise.
Not only this, the US government also went on to establish newly formed visa regulations.
We are announcing a new policy to restrict visa issuance to certain individuals who, acting on behalf of Kremlin-supported media organizations, use those organizations as cover for covert activities and are responsible for or complicit in these malign efforts.
This comes at a time when an FBI investigation is already underway to probe the Iranian hack during Donald Trump's campaign. With the geopolitical to and fro heating up ahead of the key presidential elections, will the United States and Russia navigate the implacable decline in bilateral relations?
The leads to the cover-up in the Kolkata rape and murder case are emerging day by day. Republic TV will be getting you how the office of Shandip Ghosh had in fact ordered for the demolition of the room right next to the seminar hall, the crime scene. We'll also get you the grave charges made by the parents of Dr. Abaya against Mamata police on Across the Republic at 6 p.m. He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee, and shook up the world. Born in 1942 as Cassius Clay Jr., Muhammad Ali was destined for greatness right from the start.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali.
At the age of 18, he won the Olympic gold. At 22, he shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston to become a heavyweight champion. But it wasn't just his victories, his records that makes Muhammad Ali special. It was how he won. He was not just a fighter, he was a poet in motion. His footwork was unlike anything boxing had ever seen. Quick, elusive and graceful. Ali revolutionized the sport with his unorthodox style. He did not only beat his opponents physically, he outsmarted them. So here's why Muhammad Ali has been hailed as the greatest ever. Ali won the Olympic gold at 18 years of age to kickstart the legendary career in the year 1960. In 1964, he became the world champion, defeating Sonny Liston to claim his first heavyweight title. In the same year, he converted to Islam and became Muhammad Ali. Outside the ring, Ali was larger than life. He was charismatic, witty and fearless. A master of mind games, he was known for getting into his opponents' heads long before the first bell rang. Ali's boldness extended far beyond boxing. He risked it all right when he was at the peak of his career. In 1967, he refused to fight in the Vietnam War, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to the conflict. He was stripped of his titles, banned from boxing and faced imprisonment. Ali sacrificed everything for what he believed in, becoming a global symbol of resistance, courage and integrity.
Well, starting this edition with that breaking news now coming in from Kolkata. There was a question that was raised about whether at all there has been a massive cover-up as far as Abhaya's case is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, Republic Bangla has now got you full details of what really happened in a room adjacent to the scene of crime. It turns out there was a demolition order that was given. Questions now being raised that this notice that was actually issued by the Health Department. Important to point out here is that the Health Department comes under the Chief Minister. And not just that, this notice was signed by Principal Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, who reports to Mamata Banerjee. This came just a day after the body was recovered on 9th of August. The following day, a meeting was held in the principal's office, resulting in an order to break down the rooms and toilets used by the on-duty doctors in various departments. We'll also take you through those images of the demolition that took place. In fact, this was a question that was also raised by the Central Bureau of Investigation when Sandeep Ghosh was being questioned. Let me go across to my colleague Kishala, who's getting us the latest details. Kishala, it's abundantly clear that this was done by the Health Department. The Health Department comes under the Chief Minister.
Well, Shawan, this was not an activity or order by Sandeep Ghosh alone. That is what is most important. I'll show you the notice. I'll show our viewers the notice, and I'll show how the Health Department and Health Secretary himself was present at RG Kar when the body was found that same day, and he decided to tamper with the evidence by demolishing the room adjacent to the seminar hall. This is the particular letter that we are talking about. I'll mark out important portions here right now quickly so that our viewers are aware about what happened. This is the seal that we are talking about, Government of West Bengal, Office of the Principal, RG Kar Medical College. Look at this date, Shawan. This is 10/8/2024. On 9th, the brutal murder and rape happened. On 10th, these people are giving out a notice saying what? I'll show you now. This is to the Executive Engineer, PWD Electrical and Civil. Memo number is RKC 4197. These are the technical details. Now look at this. Repair and renovation and reconstruction of an on-duty doctor's room. This is what the letter says in subject, and this on-duty doctor's room is just beside the seminar hall, about a few meters away. Now look at how they are saying that this needs to be done in an urgent basis. So it needs to be demolished quickly. We don't have time. That is what they are saying. Again, you are hereby requested to do the needful immediately. Break down the room immediately. Demolish the evidence immediately. That is what they mean here. And now, the most explosive part. The issue is already discussed and resolved in the meeting with the Principal Secretary, Department of Health and Family Welfare. This is Narayan Swarup Nigam, very close to to Mamata Banerjee. And where did this meeting happen? This meeting happened today. That means 10th of August in the boardroom of Arjikor Medical College Hospital. And again, please do the needful. Immediately break this down. And signed by Sandeep Ghosh on 10th of August 2024. This means that the whole demolition activity was carried out on a war food basis in an immediate manner, so that everything is demolished in no time. And it was discussed with the Health Secretary, Narayan Swarup Nigam, who is very close to Mamata Banerjee. Narayan Swarup Nigam came down to Arjikor, sat in that particular boardroom the day Abhaya was found. 9th, the murder was committed. 10th, the whole matter was happening, and these people were sitting in a boardroom deciding to reconstruct a seminar hall, the doctor's room and the toilet. This is what was happening. This is unbelievable and shocking, and exposes the direct link with the administration of the state of West Bengal, and how Mamata's administration was closely linked with this whole endeavor of tampering evidence and destroying whatever was there just adjacent to where the body of Abhaya was found. Shawan.
Well, in fact, just to tell our viewers as to what really happened, the entire sequence, why there are direct instructions, and that is exactly what is also being probed by the central agencies. The fact that this order was given just a day after the body was recovered. In fact, there was a meeting that took place in the evening around 6 o'clock. And not just that, you've had the officials carrying out a survey of the scene of crime. That is exactly why, Kishalay, you've had the central agency coming on record indicating that the scene of crime was actually tampered with.
Shawan, there were 3 strong attempts to destroy evidence and to tamper with whatever was there. Firstly, when Abhaya was found, even before the police came, even before the parents came, there were strangers and outsiders in the vicinity, close to Abhaya, handling the things, touching things, roaming all around, and this is exposed by the viral videos that Republic Bangla has been showing again and again. Number 1. Number 2, this meeting happens between the Health Secretary and Sandeep Ghosh, and then a survey happens of PWD officials, and they start breaking the area, they start breaking the whole rooms in the whole area and in the vicinity of that crime scene, and this is the second attempt proven to destroy evidence. Thirdly, there is a crowd that comes in on 14th night, comes in and destroys the emergency building and goes to the seminar room as well. In the video it is heard that people in that crowd, goons in that crowd, are saying that now we have to go to the seminar room. There is the place where we have to go. That's the place where we have to go. So 3 attempts, 3 strong attempts, all proven by video evidence and documentary evidence, which show that there was an attempt and strategy from the highest level of administration to tamper with the evidence, so that if there is an investigation later on by any agency, nothing can be found. Everything was, even the parents are saying that everything, when we went there, everything was completely set up. It was looking like everything was set up by people there. Everything was placed very orderly, and this is not how a crime scene is after a brutal rape and murder. So these 3 actions taken by the officials, including Kolkata police, shamefully exposes the endeavor of the highest level of administration in order to tamper with evidence and in order to delay justice to Abhaya. Shawan.
In fact, there is a pattern. Number 1, that this order comes in just a day after the body was found. Number 2, the Kolkata police made absolutely no arrest when it came to the tampering of evidence. The fact that the scene of crime was accessed by many, and the fact that you've had hospital authorities carrying out a full-fledged survey. This was done on the 10th. This order was actually passed on 11th. There is a meeting that takes place on the 10th itself, and then the order is passed on 11th. So this appears that Mamata's department actually weighed in, not only looked into what really happened on the ground and thereafter giving specific instructions to carry out the demolition. And this demolition, for all our viewers, is just adjacent to the scene of crime, which was not protected by Kolkata police. This is exactly what the Central Bureau of Investigation also had to tell the court, Kishalai. So number one, the big cover-up that we are talking about is the access that many had to the scene of crime. Number two, there was no arrest that was made by Kolkata police as far as the hospital authorities are concerned. Number three is the fact that when the call actually was made by the hospital authorities to the family members of Abhaya, they said that this was a case of suicide. Three aspects, all three not looked into by Kolkata police. And now you still have Kolkata police saying that they've carried out a full-fledged investigation.
Well, the most important, crucial part is what you highlighted, Shawan, that in spite of the fact that there are video evidences of strangers and outsiders in the location, Kolkata police not only tried to arrest or apprehend those people, but actually wanted to cover it up by saying that some of them are our officials, Kolkata police officials. How? I'll tell you. There was a person, a junior doctor called Abhik De, close to the TMC. Indira Mukherjee, DCDD, allegedly of Kolkata police, allegedly comes out, does a press conference and gives out images of who were present in that area and marks out on Abhik De that he is a fingerprint expert. Kolkata police is actually completely lost. Kolkata police has actually completely lost faith from the common people of West Bengal. No one trusts them anymore. Look at their social media accounts. Whatever they're posting there from Kolkata police accounts or pages, people are just saying that you guys cannot do anything. Therefore, you just don't post anything. That is what people's emotions are on the ground. Right now, Kolkata police, how they handled the whole case since first day is completely condemned by the people of West Bengal and as well the whole country. The way they tried to say that Abhik De, who is a junior doctor close to TMC, is a fingerprint expert is funny to say the least. What can I say? It was completely condemnable. On the other hand, Kolkata police did not stop this area from being demolished, where the standard protocol is to protect the whole area of crime and some 100 meters beyond that. But this area was only 5 meters beyond the crime scene. Speaks volumes about how Kolkata police, in fact, did not only stop the demolition and tampering of evidence, but actually
Kishalai, just so that our viewers understand the notice and why it is very crucial right now as far as this investigation goes. I just want to go back to the notice. If you can actually show our viewers when this notice was written, what exactly are the content of that notice? Were there specific instructions actually given about that particular room? And do we know anything about, was this pre-planned? Because there was an attempt, there is a narrative that is essentially being built that this was planned much earlier, executed later. But it turns out that's not true. They have admitted themselves the meeting took place on September 10th. A handwritten note was prepared, and on the 11th, this order was passed. Can you just once again go back and show our viewers what is this notice all about? What does this essentially mean, and why it raises some very serious concerns?
Exactly. That is what I'll be showing again. I'll be showing again how this letter, explosive notice, exposes the intent of the administration, highest authorities in the state. I'll first show you. This is Government of West Bengal, Office of the Principal, RG Kar Medical College. This notice comes from there. And this is the memo number of that notice, RKC 4197. Look at this date. It is 10/8/2024, the fateful day when Abhaya was found. 9th, Abhaya was raped and murdered. 10th was the day when the whole investigation was going on by Kolkata police, I'll remind you, and this was happening adjacently, parallelly. This letter is to the executive engineer, PWD Electrical and PWD Civil. Now, what is the subject of this letter? Look at this language. Repair, renovation and reconstruction of on-duty doctor's room. What is this on-duty doctor's room? This is a room adjacent, a few meters away from the seminar hall where Abhaya was found. And now look at the words used here. This has to be done on an urgent basis. Urgent basis, right now. There is no time to waste. You are hereby requested to do the needful immediately. Do it right now. Come and destroy all the evidence right now is what it means here, I believe. Now, this is the most important part. The issue is already discussed and resolved in the meeting with Principal Secretary, Department of Health and Family Affairs. This is Narayan Swarup Nigam, close to Mamata Banerjee. And when did this happen? This happened today. How is it pre-planned? If the meeting about the construction happened today, which means 10th of August, where did this meeting take place? It took place in the boardroom of Arjikor Hospital. I'll remind you, Abhaya is lying unconscious in the seminar hall. On the other hand, these guys are holding a meeting in the boardroom to make new constructions and new toilets. And again, please do the needful immediately. I don't remember when I saw a last government notification from West Bengal where 3 times these words has been used. Yes.
Kishala, just a quick update, because this particular notice mentions that there was a meeting that took place on the 10th. Do we know the exact timing when the meeting actually took place? Because it turns out that there was a 40-minute delay between the call that was made by the assistant professor to the outpost and thereafter the call that went to Tala police station. So there is a 40-minute mystery, a story that was broken by Republic TV just about a few days ago, and the fact that this was under investigation. So much so, top sources within the Central Bureau of Investigation indicated that they are still trying to find out what really happened between 9:30 in the morning and about 10:10 in the morning on 10th of August. When did this meeting take place? Because it turns out that they are still trying to find out whether at all there were certain calls that were made between this very period and the fact that there was also a call that went to the family members, changing the entire narrative.
Well, Shravan, that 40-minute in the morning is, of course, mysterious in order to explain what happened in that whole sequence where the parents were informed first that it was a suicide. Later on, they came to know, first of all, it was said that the lady doctor was sick. Later on, they were informed that she committed suicide, and still later they came and waited for 3 hours to see their daughter. This meeting was taking place at 6:30 p.m. in the evening, according to sources. The same time when the post-mortem of Abhaya was going on in the hospital, same hospital, Abhaya was taken for a post-mortem by whom? Debashish Shom, a person very close to Sandeep Ghosh. He's an outsider. He's ex-forensic teacher of Arjikor. He flew down, he came here and then started doing this whole post-mortem, which again the parents say that is doctored and is manipulated. So at one hand, the post-mortem of this girl was going on, and on the other hand, there was a meeting in the boardroom discussing about a new toilet and a new construction just adjacent 5 meters away from where Abhaya was found. This exposes the fact that the principal and the health secretary, along with the other people named here, I'll show you the names: Principal Secretary, Department of Health; Director of Medical Education, Department of Health; Director of Health Services, Department of Health; Superintendent Engineer, PWD; MSVP, Arjikor. All of them were present. All of them were either present personally or they were on call. So this meeting exposes the fact that while Abhaya was taken for post-mortem by a person who is outsider, not even from Arjikor, the same time these people were sitting in a cold-minded way and in a cold-blooded manner. They planned to reconstruct and demolish the whole area adjacent to where Abhaya was found. This, if you think about this, this is a bone-chilling thought that these people who were supposed to take care of their employees and take care of the security of them were planning how to demolish areas around the crime scene, sitting there in the same hospital. Shawan.
Well, in fact, just to take our viewers through the fact that how exactly the Chief Minister's role basically comes under the scanner right now. The fact that you have this particular department and a key aide, that is Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the man who first told the Central Bureau of Investigation, I'm told that Governor of West Bengal is speaking. Let's go across.
Honorable Home Minister, within 2 days we have started seeing action. Their feelings we understand. What they want is also justice. The entire Bengal society seeks justice. Justice will be done. Justice should be done. What I see in Bengal today, especially the administration, is going from wrong to wrong. They should realize two wrongs, even if they are mutually contradictory, will not constitute one right. Government has to act. Government has to take the people in confidence. The wrongdoers should be brought to book. Punishment should be given. People should feel that they can expect justice from the government. Now that feeling is not there. That is what is reflected in a massive protest that culminated yesterday in the candlelight procession at midnight. You know, passing legislation is one thing. Implementing it is more important. Otherwise, you know, it is a certainty of punishment rather than the severity which acts as a deterrent to crime. This is a soft state Bengal now. Law is there, law is not implemented properly, or certain people are given protective discrimination by law. The police, the portion of the police is criminalized, a portion is corrupt, a portion of the police is politicized. This does not speak well of the police force anywhere. This is not an indictment of the entire police force. The general caliber of the police force in West Bengal is really good. They are brave soldiers, but some of them have fallen into the political quagmire. That is the main problem which I see here. The government has to act. Law has to be implemented. The constitution needs to be respected. There should be the rule of law in the land. Now that is not there. That is where the society has come forward. I am sure that the voice of the people is the voice of God. We have to respond to it fairly, faithfully. We know what the Honorable Rashtrapati has said about it. I would also repeat that as a humble governor. Enough is enough. People want action, not an alibi for inaction. People want justice, not an excuse for not giving them justice. Bengal should get justice. Bengal should come back to the time where the mind is without fear and the head is held high.
Not only that, one video released by police today, in which video the parents say police is not giving right to them. That is fake video. And the victim's family, they now are telling that police pressurize them to shoot their kids.
Sir, yesterday the victim's mother and parents, they said that we are asked to take money, and that was the police who actually asked us to take money.
Yes, yes.
Now, today KMC also claimed that no, it is not the version. Earlier they said they are not pressurized to take any money and there is no question of taking money. So, but today now the parents are saying that that day when they said that yes, there is no pressure from police to take money, that was done. They gave that statement under the pressure of police. Actually, police asked them to give that statement. So they gave the statement that no, nobody has asked them to take money. But it is the real fact that they are asked to take money.
The statement given by the mother, the parents, should serve as an eye-opener for all of us. I, for one, will respect the sentiments of the parents. I trust them completely, whatever they say. But that is the state of mind in which they are in. We should show the mercy of at least trusting their sentiments.
So another thing is that it is almost 1 month. I mean, on 8th night the incident took place, and today is only 3 days are left. But the agitation that everything is going around the city, the state. So what do you think can be the real solution to solve this thing?
Real solution is give justice. Real solution is punish the guilty. Do it as fast as possible. Don't test the patience of the people.
So do you feel there is a big demand that
You're really talking very wisely, and I can't help but break up the statement you gave about Bhagavad Gita. Yes. And I could see the impact it has had on you the way you're speaking right now. So how has it really helped you? If you could tell our viewers, do you read it daily, or how does it really come to your life?
So my mother is a Sanskrit and Hindi lecturer, and since childhood she is the one who actually kept me very disciplined and very what I had to do on priority. For example, if I have to do my homework or follow my routine and everything, she's the kind of person who would be like, you have to do it, that's your priority, do that first, and after that only I'll allow you for something else. So she kept me very disciplined and everything throughout my life. And now, so initially she only told me about Bhagavad Gita and everything. So she is the person who is like, she tells me about history, she tells me about Indian mythology, or I say it history, Indian history I say. So she tells me about all these stories and the actual history of India. And then now I was like, you know what, I should probably start reading Gita thoroughly. And I have this meditation guru who actually tells me 2 or 3 verses every day, so that it helps me in my general life as well. Because how old it may seem, as old as it may seem, it is relevant in today's life as well. You only have to actually sit and try and connect it with your daily life. So for me, so many verses are there, but especially I really love one, that do your karma and do not focus on the result.
कर्म करते जब फल चिंता मत करो.
अपने कर्म पूरी निष्ठा से करो, फल की चिंता मत करो. तो ये चीज है. And my coach always says, Jaspal sir, he always says, you do not get what you want. You know what, I should probably start reading Gita thoroughly. And I have this meditation guru who actually tells me 2 or 3 verses every day, so that it helps me in my general life as well.
Director, the taste of success.
cover-up in Abhaya rape and murder case. First demolition, then vandalism. Demolition order to tamper with crime scene. All this and more are across the Republic at 6 p.m. today.
My goal would be winning gold, and the dream continues, of course. This time was 2 bronzes and 1 fourth finish for me. But it feels good that, people recognize and people appreciate the efforts.
You've seen her shining at this shooting range. You've seen her down and out in Tokyo and also doing us proud in Paris. And she was welcomed with open arms back home in India. We tuned into Republic podcast, and we have the one and only Manu, our champion, our double medalist. She has just etched history in sports, but today we're going to take a sneak peek into her persona, into how she thinks and how she goes about her life, and what really it takes to be Manu Bhaker. Thank you so much, Manu, for joining us here at Republic podcast. And you're just 22, being a legend at 22. How does it make you feel when you hear that?
Well, I do not consider myself as that. I would like to continue this for as long as possible, and I really, really love my sport. So, my goal would be winning gold, and the dream continues, of course. This time was 2 bronzes and 1 fourth finish for me. But it feels good that, people recognize and people appreciate the efforts and the medals that I got. So it feels very good. And yes, I was welcomed back with open arms. It felt really, really good.
Yes, and since you talked about coming back, last time we connected was via Zoom interview when you were still in Paris after the medal, and you were talking about how...
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers, to a power-packed edition of Across the Republic with me, Rakshita Mishra, at 6 p.m. and we are going to get you these top story, viewers. The Delhi High Court has heard the case. Remember, the bail of Sharjeel Imam has been dismissed, and today the state has levelled damning charges against Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the riots case of 2020. Also, we'll get you how the murder case of Renuka Swamy is only exploding. There is more proof emerging. There are disturbing visuals that have been accessed by Republic Kannada. Also, the top focus remains West Bengal. There is undeniable proof of a cover-up and how Mamata Banerjee's ministry was involved in this. And viewers, also, we will get you the Me Too mark, the latest, how an actor from the South Indian film industry has levelled rape charges against a Tamil director. We'll get you all that, but first up, the headlines. A notice to demolish the room adjacent to the seminar hall, the crime scene at the RG Kaur Medical College, was sent from the office of then Principal Dr. Shandip Ghosh, and now viewers, Republic TV has accessed that notice. The body was recovered on the 9th of August, and the following day, the meeting was held in the principal's office, Shandip Ghosh's office, and that was about an order to break down the rooms and toilets used by on-duty doctors of various departments. It's proved. Republic TV, Republic Bangla has that proof. It undeniably shows that how Mamata's ministry was found directly involved. Mamata's role now under scrutiny even further as the document has now emerged. The demolition, first you saw the demolition, and then what followed was the vandalism at the RG Core. Viewers, we saw what happened in the midnight. The mob ran amok. So one by one, there were desperate attempts to cover up what had happened at the RG Core, the rape and murder of Dr. Abhaya. It's now clear how Mamata's ministry was directly overseeing what the RG Core administration was doing, how the presence of the health secretary clearly outlines in that meeting that there was an attempt being made. The order clearly states how an urgent demolition was ordered. My colleague, senior editor of our Bangla, Moyuk, is joining us on the broadcast for more. Moyuk, tell us about the contents of that notice that Republic Bangla has access that in fact makes it very clear, crystal clear about the involvement of the state in this cover-up.
Well, just imagine how insensitive it is. Abhaya was killed, Abhaya was raped on 9th of August. And on 10th, we have accessed this letter, and this letter is also right now on the screen, where it's written that under the instruction of Health Secretary of West Bengal, which comes under Mamata Banerjee, there has to be a renovation work instruction. The letter has been given by Sandeep Ghosh, the erstwhile principal of RG Kar Hospital, in the name of the Health Secretary of West Bengal, and most importantly, the Health Secretary of West Bengal directly reports to Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee is the Health Minister of West Bengal. Why this hurry is one of the biggest questions right now. The demolition work or the renovation work, what they have said, just in the floor of the crime spot is one of the biggest suspicion right now. What was the hurriedness to demolish, or what was the hurriedness to renovate the same floor rooms where a brutal murder has taken place, a brutal rape incident has taken place, and that too of a junior doctor, that too of a PGT staff member of that same department, the chest medicine department. It's not only illegal, it's not only bizarre, but it's insensitive. Mamata Banerjee's ministry maybe tried to hide something, maybe tried to destroy some evidences, and altercation and tampering of evidence has time and again been mentioned by CBI, time and again been mentioned in Supreme Court. We remember Abhaya's lawyer Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya has also mentioned that the crime scene was not protected by Kolkata police. In fact, the protesters in Kolkata, they are also saying that the crime scene was deliberately destructed, the crime scene was deliberately altered by Kolkata police, by miscreants and goons under the behest of Vineet Goel, the Commissioner of Police, and that's why they are demanding resignation of Vineet Goel. However, the point is, why this hurriedness to destroy or renovate the room which is next to the seminar room of chest medicine department, the crime spot? That is what we don't know. We don't know whether this is actually the crime spot, but what Kolkata police has said, the crime spot is the seminar room. If seminar room is the crime spot, then why seminar room was not protected, and why the renovation work happened just next to the seminar room in one of the doctor's chamber? Why the toilets were broken, why the wall was demolished? This is one of the biggest questions, and why repaint instructions were given, why the walls of the crime spot adjacent rooms were repainted or they were whitewashed. Is there any specific reason to dodge the forensic expert? Is there a specific reason to destroy forensic evidences? That's the reason why CFSL could not collect anything. That's the reason why CFSL has time and again been proven wrong, because of the fact that earlier the doctor said that lots of things had happened in this 2 hours of time when the body was recovered, the body was discovered at around 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Then police came in the spot at around 10:30 a.m. So in this 1 hour, what happened? Why this delay in informing the police is one of the biggest questions. Another point is that why Mamata Banerjee's ministry hastily, proactively gave this instruction. These are the points which Mamata needs to answer. These are the points nation wants to know. And most importantly, these are embarrassing moments for the government of West Bengal. And Mamata Banerjee, people are saying, should step down as the Health Minister of Bengal. Vineet Goyal, being the police commissioner, must admit his fault and resign. This is what the protesters right now, still protesting on road, are saying.
Well, Mayuk, this is just in the series of the lapses that have come to light, and we have been questioning the same ever since the break of this story, this lead, in fact, how this demolition was carried out. And even the court had questioned weeks ago that what was the urgency to, in fact, carry out this demolition, to provide a washroom suddenly, while there is an emergency situation already at the RG core.
Exactly, and most importantly, why this hurriedness? The protesters are saying it's insensitive. 9th of August, one of your colleague has brutally been murdered, and on 10th, Artikar hospital staff gives instruction to PWD department workers to carry out demolition work, and that there also the letter which mentions that this instruction has directly come from the health ministry. The health ministry comes under Mamata Banerjee's department. Mamata Banerjee is the health minister of West Bengal. So the question is whether Mamata Banerjee has directly instructed, whether Mamata Banerjee's department directly instructed to tamper the evidence to Sandeep Ghosh, the arrested principal of Arjikar Hospital. Is Mamata Banerjee accountable enough to say, is Mamata Banerjee accountable enough to prove that her department is not involved in this case? Because right now what we are getting in the letter which Republic has accessed exclusively clearly shows that Mamata Banerjee's department, ministry, was in charge, was in helm of affairs. And if Mamata Banerjee's department is in helm of affairs, if Mamata Banerjee is the health minister of West Bengal, then Mamata Banerjee should not just shrug away and should not just avoid the questions. Someone needs to answer why this hurriedness. And secondly, when Supreme Court has also observed that there must be tampering of evidences, but Supreme Court has also said that there must be alteration, there must be altercation, and most importantly, there must be tampering of the crime spot, then why so much hurry? And biggest news point here is that we have seen that this crime spot is been identified by Kolkata police. We don't even know whether the actual crime happened in that seminar room. There can be other rooms. In fact, there are 5 to 6 rooms in the chess department ward. So 5 to 6 rooms, out of which 2 rooms have been demolished, has been renovated. Why this demolition work? Technically, police, technically cops and forensic experts say that if there is a crime happening in and around the place you are standing, then technically a diameter is drawn, and the whole of that floor is locked. If it's a very emergency floor, then there should be other provisions. But the fact that when this thing is happening, why this exact proactiveness of Mamata Banerjee's department and Sandeep Ghosh directly getting involved into this? Is it because Abhaya was killed in some other room? Is this the fact that Abhaya was killed in that particular room where the demolition or the renovation work has happened? We don't know, because of the fact that there is no evidence left. It's clearly proven that evidences were destructed. It's clearly proven that Mamata Banerjee's department was actually trying to hide something. Mamata Banerjee's department instructed Sandeep Ghosh, instructed Arjikar hospital authorities to destroy the evidences, and most importantly, to tamper the evidences. It's clearly proven. Why action will not be taken against Mamata Banerjee? Why there will not be any disciplinary action against the IPS officers who have directly been involved in this entire tampering work? This is one of the serious allegations that is coming against Bengal government. Bengal government must answer, and Mamata Banerjee, her resignation is the biggest talking point right now. This is the biggest demand right now. The protesters, we can still hear the protesters saying, resign Mamata Banerjee, because Mamata Banerjee, being the health minister of West Bengal, being the home minister of West Bengal, she has not solved the mystery, and most importantly, she had time and again instructed people. That is what we are getting in from our sources, that this cover-up was basically from very highly influential people. Who are these highly influential people? Mamata Banerjee must answer. And most importantly, why Mamata Banerjee is still guarding Sandeep Ghosh? The Sandeep Ghosh suspension letter, Republic Bangla has clearly shown and given points that this suspension letter is a sham, because natural suspension is what happens according to the service rule book of state government employees. And here, Sandeep Ghosh has not been show-caused, but natural suspension has happened according to the rule book. So Mamata Banerjee is still guarding Sandeep Ghosh. What's the reason?
Absolutely, in fact, he was rewarded with a plum posting in another college right after this incident. That speaks volumes itself. Mamata Banerjee can go around and say that this is just the media that is creating a hype about that. What has the CBI in fact found out till now? They haven't found out anything. But what does she have to say about this undeniable proof? Mamata's ministry role, viewers, has been proved now. And her role in this cover-up has come to the fore very clearly. We're getting the first reaction from the governor of West Bengal, CV Ananda Bose. Take a listen in.
Government has to act. Government has to take the people in confidence. The wrongdoers should be brought to book. Punishment should be given. People should feel that they can expect justice from the law. Now that feeling is not there. That is what is reflected in the massive protest that culminated yesterday in the candlelight procession at midnight. Passing legislation is one thing, implementing it is more important. Otherwise, it is a certainty of punishment rather than the severity which acts as a deterrent to crime. This is a soft state Bengal now. Law is there. Law is not implemented properly, or certain people are given protective discrimination by law. The police, the portion of the police is criminalized, a portion is corrupt, a portion of the police is politicized.
So there you have CV Ananda Bose, and viewers, we will continue to get you the latest news breaks from our Bangla. And, Moyuk, clearly we can see Mamata Banerjee has tried to hoodwink everybody whenever this story has come up. And, day in and day out, the investigation continues. Republic's news break, Republic Bangla's latest inputs have time and again uncovered and exposed the way RG Kaur Hospital had tried in everything in the book to cover this up. Even the parents are made a sensational claim that they were offered bribes to silence them. That itself speaks volumes about the frustration and the desperation of Mamata Banerjee government, the administration, the police, how they were trying to cover up something. And this could be, much beyond what we are seeing. What we have been talking about, what has been in the reports, is just maybe a part of, what we are investigating. There is much more. The involvement goes way higher.
Well, absolutely. Probably this is the tip of the iceberg. This entire system in state government, the state police, the Kolkata police, the forensic medicine experts, what they are actually doing is a fight between the common man in Bengal and the entire system in West Bengal. Helm of affairs has been controlled by Mamata Banerjee. So Mamata Banerjee must answer why time and again they're trying to prove that Abhaya's parents are actually telling a lie, and their police, their top cop, is actually telling the truth. Today also we have seen a press conference where Trinamool Congress tried to prove, such Shashi Paja from Trinamool Congress tried to prove that Abhaya's parents are actually telling a lie. And Trinamool Congress leaders, the police in Bengal, the state government, they are actually telling the truth. So this is the insensitivity shown by Trinamool Congress. This is the insensitivity shown by RG Kaur Medical College staff, and most importantly, Mamata Banerjee's department. Mamata Banerjee's department was actually behind the tampering and renovation work instruction given to Sandeep Ghosh. And Sandeep Ghosh was just, according to Shubhendu Adhikari, the opposition leader, I repeat, Sandeep Ghosh was just a stooge in this entire nexus. Probably big names are there. Time and again, Shubhendu Adhikari and opposition leaders has named one person, one senior doctor named Shama Podo Dash, SP Dash. Who is this Shama Podo Dash? The nation wants to know. The people in West Bengal, in fact, people from outside West Bengal wants to know who this very powerful man called Shama Podo Dash is. Shubhendu Adhikari, I repeat, I quote Shubhendu Adhikari. Shubhendu Adhikari has said that there's one personal physician of the Chief Minister of West Bengal called Shama Podo Dash, who is actually controlling the health syndicate in West Bengal. And I repeat, this is what Shubhendu Adhikari has quoted. Republic Bangla exactly is quoting Shubhendu Adhikari, where Shubhendu Adhikari said that this SP Dash is a very powerful man, and Sandeep Ghosh is just a stooge in this entire game. He's just a pawn in this chessboard. The kings and queens are actually much bigger, much stronger people and very influential people still behind the curtain. We at Republic Bangla and in Republic Network are investigating and showing the viewers in India what actually a system can do in West Bengal when someone becomes a whistleblower. So this is one of the biggest coverage what we are doing because of the fact that a whistleblower has been killed, a whistleblower has been raped, and every single evidence of her killing is being tampered with just because of the fact that probably Abhaya knew a lot of things.
Absolutely. In fact, there was in court we saw that there was no concrete answer also by the Mamata Banerjee's police, by the Mamata Banerjee's lawyer, because we can clearly see that they were pulled up, they were questioned by the court that what was the urgency to order this demolition. There are many other things that could have been carried out much later, and the fact that there was this urgency clearly shows there was an attempt. And also not just that, Moyuk, what happened in the midnight, the way a mob ran amok and they vandalized everything. Republic TV in fact showed the inside of that destruction of RG Kaur, where we saw even the CCTVs were tampered with. They were hanging down from above the doors, and it clearly shows that right from the beginning there were attempts being made. Even the fact how parents are talking about bribes being offered, that they had to literally beg to see their daughter's dead body. I mean, this is enough to understand, and the people of Bengal, Moyuk, are understanding that. That is why, despite the threats, the brutal crackdown of Mamata Banerjee police, they are unrelenting in their fight for justice.
Well, it's actually shocking that after this 10th renovation notice, suddenly on 14th, precisely on the 15th of midnight, when the whole of the country was celebrating the Independence Day, we have seen one of the brutal attacks in RG Kaur Hospital. And this attack in RG Kaur Hospital probably was premeditated, probably was ransacked because of the fact that that may also be a second chapter in this evidence tampering and conspiracy of RG Kaur Hospital. Remember, on 10th, the evidences were tampered. In fact, on 9th also, we have seen time and again the experts, the opposition leaders, and Abhaya's parents saying that the seminar room was also tampered with. The key evidences in seminar room can be missing, and most importantly, who were those outsiders in the seminar room? So clearly, Mamata Banerjee has a lot to answer with, and most importantly, police commissioner in West Bengal, the police commissioner in Kolkata to be precise, Vineet Goel, why he still silent? Most important question right now is why Kolkata police is trying to hide things, why Kolkata police is trying to cover up things. Who is actually behind all these things? Is Mamata Banerjee or Kolkata police trying to shield someone very powerful? That is one of the biggest questions, and most importantly, 3 days, first on 9th, On 9th, when the seminar room was not properly protected, lots of outsiders came there. On 10th, what we are seeing right now in the letter, where it's clearly mentioned that under the instructions of Health Ministry, to be precise, Health Secretary of West Bengal, this entire renovation work must be started. And number 3, on 14th of night, or the midnight of 15th, when the entire emergency building of RG Kar Hospital was ransacked, the ground floor of RG Kar Hospital was ransacked. 3 dates is one of the biggest questions right now. Who actually is behind this entire ransack and renovation?
The Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal, Director of Medical Education, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal. They've all been mentioned, viewers, in this proof, in this document that has been accessed by Republic Bangla. And there is, of course, a clear involvement of Mamata Banerjee government, viewers, and we will continue to get you the latest coming in, the ultimate cover-up in the RG Kar rape and murder case as the call for justice grows. Republic TV continues with this deep investigation into the case. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
One of the things that we are really proud about is the fact that India, Bharat, is the fastest growing major economy in the world, and we will continue to be so. In fact, the way we've been going for the last 10 years, in the next 5 to 10 years, if we have political stability, if everything is right, there are no major risk factors, then we will be in a situation to be rivaling China, and in 20 to 30 years, surpassing China. It's a reality that we are a competing nation. And one of the reasons why the Chinese and the Americans are using their deep states against us, are conspiring against us. And as I have been saying repeatedly over the last few weeks, the reason that they have been using their intelligence agencies to try and surround India with difficulties, use Indian political parties and Indian political leaders as their agents, as their Mir Jafars, is because they want to contain India. I would now like to give you an example of what happens should there be wrong political leadership in any state. Should any political party get its fundamentals wrong, then the example I'm going to share with you is what can happen across India. I will give you the example of Himachal Pradesh. Just recently, the Congress party won the elections in Himachal Pradesh, and there is a government there which has now landed the state in a little over a year into a situation of financial catastrophe. There is a financial emergency. There is a massive financial crisis in Congress-ruled Himachal. More than 200,000 state government employees of Himachal Pradesh have not received their salaries on the 1st of this month. This has been attributed to the worst ever financial crisis which has hit Himachal Pradesh, and it has happened immediately after the Congress party has taken over. The Sukhu government is giving 1,500 rupees a month to 5 lakh women, which is costing the state 800 crores per annum. The old pension scheme that the Congress has decided to retain will also cost an additional 1,000 crores per annum. As of now, the situation in Congress-ruled Himachal is so bad, there is such a crisis that the debt of the Himachal Pradesh government is almost doubled when compared to 2018. When the debt then stood at 47,906 crores, the Congress-ruled Himachal Pradesh is in such a terrible situation because of complete financial mismanagement, freebies, subsidies and schemes that their debt has increased to 86,589 crores. The Congress party has in a few months completely ruined the economy of Himachal Pradesh. The state has also accumulated loans of almost 10,000 crores in 1 year. The debt now stands at 86,589 crore rupees, which means every person in Himachal Pradesh is
to take on gender pay parity in sports.
If two people are doing the same job, they should be paid the same. That's it.
Sometimes people start, scrutinizing you also. Does it really affect you?
Like they were not there when you actually needed somebody's help or somebody's love or somebody's appreciation. So it doesn't really bother me that much.
Presented by Royal Global University, Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
August 10th notice by Mamta's department exposes cover-up. Room next to crime scene asked to be demolished. Big controversy over Himachal minister's remark on illegal mosque. Shimla residents stage protest. Hearing in 2020 Delhi riots case, state alleges Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid led the riots. In a spine-chilling interview, actor Soumya narrates how she was assaulted and raped by an influential director. After back-to-back attacks, Hindus now being profiled, but Yunus says issue is being exaggerated. Vladimir Putin bats for peace talks, says China, India and Brazil could act as mediators.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Viewers, our top focus at 6:30 p.m. today is the direct involvement of Mamta's ministry into the demolition of the rooms right next to the crime scene at the Arjikar hospital. On August 9th, Abhaya was raped and murdered. On August 10th, Sandeep Ghosh puts out an order saying that the rooms next to the crime scene, which is the seminar hall, will be renovated and demolished. And this order has been signed by Sandeep Ghosh, as well as it has been forwarded to 3 departments that come directly under Mamta Banerjee. In fact, the order copy also mentions that the decision was taken after a meeting with the principal secretary of the health department, which comes directly under Mamta Banerjee's purview. Now, let's tell you what exactly happened. This is the ultimate cover-up proof that we have accessed. 9th of August, Abhaya's body was recovered from the Arjikar hospital, the crime scene. And on 10th of August, a demolition order was given by Sandeep Ghosh, which was done in consultation with the principal secretary of the health department. Now, if Sandeep Ghosh had signed the order, and if the principal secretary was also in the loop of the action of the demolition that was to be done at the Arjikar hospital, the big question is, did Mamta not know about it? In fact, the West Bengal governor has also spoken about this damning document. Let's listen in.
Government has to act. Government has to take the people in confidence. The wrongdoers should be brought to book. Punishment should be given. People should feel that they can expect justice from the government. Now that feeling is not there. That is what is reflected in the massive protest that culminated yesterday in the candlelight procession at midnight. You know, passing legislation is one thing, implementing it is more important. Otherwise, you know, it is a certainty of punishment rather than the severity which acts as a deterrent crime. This is a soft state Bengal now. Law is there, law is not implemented properly, or certain people are given protective discrimination by law. The police, the portion of the police is criminalized, a portion is corrupt, a portion of the police is politicized.
Now, 3 aspects, viewers. We have accessed the proof of cover-up, and that order, the demolition order, was issued by Sandeep Ghosh. And now the questions are staring at Mamta Banerjee because there is a direct link of her ministry. Let me read out what exactly the document has, viewers. The document has been, the order copy has the Government of West Bengal, Office of Principal, Arjikar Medical College. And in fact, the date is August 10th, the very next day after the horrific crime at the Arjikar hospital. Now, the letter, the order has been marked to the executive engineer of PWD, electrical as well as the civil. The subject of the letter reads, repair, renovation, reconstruction of on-duty doctors' rooms along with separate attached toilets in all departments of Arjikar Medical College and Hospital on urgent basis. Now, let me read out what the order copy says. It says, and I quote, I would like to inform you that there are deficiency of on doctors, on-duty doctors' rooms and separate attached toilets in various departments. You are hereby requested to do the needful immediately as per demands of the resident doctors of the RG Kar Medical College. Now, these resident doctors are not the protesting doctors, but these are doctors who are directly controlled by Sandeep Ghosh. In fact, my colleague and senior executive editor Shavan Sen is also joining us live on this broadcast. Shavan, there are several questions now staring at Mamata Banerjee. If the Principal Secretary of the Health Ministry know about it, did Mamata not know about it? If she knew about it, then why did she conceal it? These are the questions, Shavan, that are, confronting Mamata Banerjee, but she has no answers.
So who exactly is the health minister in the state of West Bengal? It is Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Among the many portfolios that she holds, health happens to be one such. Now, this document that I'm holding, this is the order that was passed. Remember, many were surprised when a demolition was actually carried out adjacent to the scene of crime. Many raised a question as to who exactly passed the order, who exactly allowed the demolition to take place just next to the scene of crime. And we have been relentlessly reporting about the fact that the Central Bureau of Investigation is also looking into the tampering of evidence that the scene of crime was not intact. It turns out that there was a meeting that took place on the 10th of August. This is just about few hours after the body was recovered, and the fact that it turned out that a brutal murder was carried out in the premises, in the same very premises on the 3rd floor of RG Kar Hospital. And it turns out from this particular letter that you see, this is the order that was passed after a deliberation that took place at the hospital board room, where Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the principal, along with him, several other hospital authorities were present, and it was decided that this would be done on an urgent basis. And this is something that I am not saying. This is what the order states, that the renovation work is to be carried out on an urgent basis. It's clearly mentioned here. The fact that you've had some hospital authorities indicating that this was decided earlier and this was planned, and that is the reason why this renovation work was carried out. It turns out to be completely untrue, because of the fact that this order was actually passed where clear instructions were essentially given that the renovation would be carried out on an urgent basis. And what turned out thereafter was that the scene of crime was also tampered with. Now the fact is that why exactly this is becoming a major cause of concern. There have been an operation cover-up, and that operation cover-up is exactly what the central agency is looking at. The Trinamool Congress government in the state of West Bengal is trying to indicate that everything has been done by the Kolkata police. If that is the case, then what really happened between 9:30 in the morning on 9th of August and 10:10 till the time the first call went to the police outpost? The second aspect is that what really happened thereafter in terms of the order that was passed and the renovation work that was carried out. Were there any calls that were received by Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of RG Kar, between 9:30 in the morning and 10:10 in the morning? And whether at all these instructions were given to basically carry out two things. One, to tell the family members that this is a case of suicide. So who exactly was being protected? Why did the Kolkata police not question Dr. Sandeep Ghosh? These are some questions that remains completely unanswered, and from this particular order it becomes abundantly clear that the health ministry was very much aware that the renovation work was being carried out at RG Kar Hospital, this at a time when a murder was reported.
Well, Shavan, this is a smoking gun that has now come to the fore. And what's even more shocking is that the demolition order was approved by the health department, which comes directly under Mamata Banerjee. Now, Kishle is also joining us live on this broadcast from the Kolkata newsroom. Kishle, this damning document has now raised several questions on Mamata Banerjee's role. If the principal secretary knew about it, did Mamata Banerjee not know about it? And if this operation cover-up was doctored by Sandeep Ghosh and approved by her ministry, did Mamata Banerjee not know about it? These are the questions, Kishle.
Well, exactly, Deepak. Now just imagine the fact that Narayan Swarup Nigam, the health secretary, who is very close to Mamata Banerjee and works only under her instruction, he came down to RG which he doesn't do usually, on 10th. Remember, on 9th, Abhaya is found dead, murdered, her body being completely brutalized, and everything was carried on 9th. Just the next day, on 10th, this particular meeting is taking place inside where, I'll show you in the letter, I'll mark out, it is taking place, this meeting is taking place today, which means 10th, in the boardroom of Arjikor Hospital, in a hospital where a murder has taken place. A doctor has been murdered in that hospital, murdered and raped and brutalized in an unprecedented way during her tenure, during her duty hours. There, these people, Sandeep Ghosh and Mamta's health secretary, sitting in a boardroom deciding a renovation work, and that too 5 meters away from where Dr. Abhaya was found. Is this an attempt to make the people of West Bengal and the country foolish? Are they thinking that we don't understand things? This is complete endeavor to cover up the whole issue, and I'll show you how much anxious these people were to cover up. Look at this word, urgent basis. The work had to be done on urgent basis. Again, here, you are requested to do the needful immediately. Do it right now. That is what they're saying. Again here, please do the needful immediately. I don't remember when the last time I saw a government notification where thrice or 4 times the urgency is expressed in words such as do it right now, do it immediately, do it urgently, which means Sandeep Ghosh and the health secretary were going crazy to destroy evidence from the spot, and while doing so they used multiple times words like do it right now, do it immediately, we need it done right now. And just imagine the fact that a government work is done within 2 or 3 hours after the notification is given. On 11th, immediately the work starts. Usually what happens is a notification comes, it takes a long time. After many weeks the work actually starts. This work started in a few hours and was completed by Mamta's another department, PWD. Therefore, and in the meeting, I'll remind you, health secretary was present. I'll remind you, in the meeting, Director of Medical Education, Department of Health was present, Principal Secretary of Health Department was present, Director of Health Service was present, and Superintendent Engineer of PWD and MSVP was present. All these Mamta's men were present allegedly, or over call they were informed in the boardroom. The whole plan was done in the boardroom, how to destroy evidence, all evidences against the culprits of Abhaya murder and rape case, and this was done from the highest authority and is today thus proven by this letter exposed exclusively by Republic. Deepak.
Also, Kishle, the meeting took place on August 10th. The demolition also followed after that. If you could take us through the timeline of events from the day of murder to the demolition, and also about Mamta's constant denial, because she has been completely denying any cover-up by the state government. But here is the proof of her own ministry passing a demolition order at the crime scene.
Well, exactly. I'll show you here, Deepak. This is the date. I'll just show you the timeline here. And for our viewers, this is the date when the notice is passed. But 9th was the day when Abhaya was found dead, murdered, raped. That is 9th of August. On 10th, these people held a meeting. And then on 11th, the demolition actually took place. And on 12th, Mamata Banerjee went to meet the parents of Abhaya, knowing well, we believe, and people believe, because this is her department. Come on, you don't know what's happening in your department. You don't know what your principal secretary of your health department is doing. You don't know what orders is your principal secretary passing. You don't know anything, and you go there, meet the parents, and console them cold-bloodedly saying that, yeah, we will take care of it, we will ensure that justice takes place, while you know that the justice will not take place because there has been tampering of evidence at the crime site. This is what any cold-blooded attempt to remove and tamper with the evidence looks like. The series of events, I'll repeat, on 9th, Abhaya is found dead and Abhaya is found murdered, raped in a bloody condition in the seminar hall. On 10th, these people come together, sit for a meeting in the evening, where the whole country is shocked by such an incident. These people were holding a meeting about renovating toilets and doctor on-call room beside the seminar hall. These people decide that. On 11th, the order is passed. Immediately the order is executed and the room is demolished, while Republic Bangla calls the principal secretary, health secretary, asks him about why such demolition is taking place, and then partially it is stopped. After we called from Republic that how can this happen? They said, we don't know. The principal secretary of health, according to sources, told reporters that he didn't know about such demolition. But in this letter, it is said that he was present, so he was lying. But it is not on record, it is according to sources. However, according to sources, the principal secretary of health, which is health secretary, was denying his knowledge about such demolition, whereas in this letter, he was present there. This is on 10th, and then 11th, the demolition takes place. On 12th, Mamata Banerjee visits the family, trying to console them. That is the bone-chilling sequence of events.
And on the intervening night of 14th and 15th, Kishle, there was vandalism. How can we forget vandalism? Because first the rape and murder case came to light. Then there was a meeting. Then there was a demolition order issued. Then, like you said, Mamata Banerjee, spoke to the victim's family. And after that, there was complete vandalism. Stay on with us, Kishle. It's time for a quick break. We'll be right back and get our viewers the proof, the undeniable proof, and the smoking gun in the RG Kar rape and murder case. Stay tuned.
Within a span of just about a few days, Muhammad Yunus has freed dreaded terrorists who have been wanted by India. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we get you an exclusive conversation with BNP Foreign Committee member on what lies ahead.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
He floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee, and shook up the world. Born in 1942 as Cassius Clay Jr., Muhammad Ali was destined for greatness right from the start.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali.
At the age of 18, he won the Olympic gold. At 22, he shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston to become a heavyweight champion. But it wasn't just his victories, his records that makes Muhammad Ali special. It was how he won. He was not just a fighter, he was a poet in motion. His footwork was unlike anything boxing had ever seen. Quick, elusive, and graceful. Ali revolutionized the sport with his unorthodox style. He did not only beat his opponents physically, he outsmarted them. So here's why Muhammad Ali has been hailed as the greatest ever. Ali won the Olympic gold at 18 years of age to kickstart the legendary career in the year 1960. In 1964, he became the world champion, defeating Sonny Liston to claim his first heavyweight title. In the same year, he converted to Islam and became Muhammad Ali. Outside the ring, Ali was larger than life. He was charismatic, witty, and fearless. A master of mind games, he was known for getting into his opponents' heads long before the first bell rang. Ali's boldness extended far beyond boxing. He risked it all right when he was at the peak of his career. In 1967, he refused to fight in the Vietnam War, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to the conflict. He was stripped of his titles, banned from boxing, and faced imprisonment. Ali sacrificed everything for what he believed in, becoming a global symbol of resistance, courage and integrity. After a 3-year exile, Ali returned to the ring to face his toughest battles yet. In the epic fight of the century against Joe Frazier and the rumble in the jungle against George Foreman, Ali proved he was more than just all talk. He was a warrior with unmatched heart and determination. Now, in 1984, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He faced it with the same courage that he displayed in the ring. 6 years later, he traveled to Iraq to negotiate the release of American hostages as a goodwill ambassador. The champion breathed his last in 2016 at the age of 74. Muhammad Ali transcended sports. He was the greatest because he inspired billions across the globe with his talent, his courage and also his unwavering principle.
Producing everything down to caste. He met some trackmen of the Indian Railways and said, most shockingly, that they are like the Mahadalits of the Indian Railways. What does he mean? If you introduce this kind of extremely divisive logic all the time, you will break the million-plus strong workforce of the Indian Railways into different groups with animosity towards each other. And in the process, you will destroy the unity of the Indian Railways, which is in itself one of the greatest unifiers and greatest institutions of this country. This extreme division, which is a short-term political tactic, may appeal to certain vote banks, but let me tell you, this will break our nation forever. This is exactly the language that both the American deep state and the Chinese intelligence machinery would want to hear. Republic and I are for national unity. When our nation's unity is openly under threat by extremely divisive forces from within, make your choice too.
Showdown over illegal mosque in Shimla. Owaisi attack Congress over illegal mosque remarks. Arnav asks, who is Sukhu trying to appease? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Director, the taste of success.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
You're really talking very wisely, and I can't help but break up the statement you gave about Bhagavad Gita. And I could see the impact it has had on you the way you're speaking right now. So how has it really helped you? If you could tell our viewers, do you read it daily, or how does it really come to your life?
So my mother is a Sanskrit and Hindi lecturer, and since childhood she is the one who actually kept me very disciplined and very what I had to do on priority. For example, if I have to do my homework or follow my routine and everything, she's the kind of person who would be like, you have to do it, that's your priority, do that first, and after that only I'll allow you for something else. So she kept me very disciplined and everything throughout my life. And now so initially she only told me about Bhagavad Gita and everything. So she is the person who is like, she tells me about history, she tells me about Indian mythology, or I say it history, Indian history I say. So she tells me about all these stories and the actual history of India. And then now I was like, you know what, I should probably start reading Gita thoroughly. And I have this meditation guru who actually tells me 2 or 3 verses every day, so that it helps me in my general life as well. Because how old it may seem, as old as it may seem, it is relevant in today's life as well. You only have to actually sit and try and connect it with your daily life. So for me, so many verses are there, but especially I really love one that do your karma and do not focus on the result.
कर्म करते जब फल चिंता मत करो.
अपने कर्म पूरी निष्ठा से करो, फल की चिंता मत करो. तो ये चीज है. And my coach always says, Jaspal sir, he always says, you do not get what you want, you get what you deserve. So these sort of things will always keep my head very, online.
Absolutely, and of course you do deserve what you've achieved. But the fact that you're talking about it very openly, very elaborately, you think it's important because we've seen for the longest time people have not been very open about their beliefs, their faith, and they've just been, sort of guarded. You think it's important to always talk about it, and there should be no inhibitions in, talking about your faith, your culture, your traditions.
Honestly, I feel like India has a very, very rich heritage, rich culture, and we should all come together and actually celebrate it, and not be like we need to change this thing in our culture. I mean, of course, we should eliminate all the bads that we have in our culture, but so many good things as well we have in our history or like heritage, culture, and everything. So we must cherish all that, and I am a kind of person like I am very open. I am accepting of other people as well. I mean, if you have certain beliefs, I do not expect anything out of you. I'm open. If you have something that works for you, that's good for you.
In a span of just about a few days, Mohammed Yunus has freed dreaded terrorists who have been wanted by India. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we get you an exclusive conversation with BNP Foreign Committee member on what lies ahead.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Yunus's pro-Islamist stand has now been exposed. In the just last 10 days, we have seen at least 2 top terrorists have been released. The ultimate cover-up proof. The room next to crime scene asked to be demolished. Big focus on Mamata's ministry's role in RG Kaur cover-up as Republic Bangla exposes the ultimate proof. Big controversy over Himachal minister's remark on illegal mosque. Shimla residents stage protest. In a spine-chilling interview, actor Soumya narrates how she was assaulted and raped by influential directors.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a sharp U-turn that has now been taken by Mohammad Yunus. The interim government caretaker, Mohammad Yunus, has released dreaded terrorists. In just about less than a few weeks, you have at least 2 top terrorists who have been released by Mohammad Yunus. And how exactly India should really be concerned? Because you have ABT, which is banned not just in India but also in Bangladesh, banned by Sheikh Hasina. Chief of ABT has already been released by Mohammad Yunus. And not just that. In the last few days, those who have been anti-India, they are the ones who have got an audience with Mohammad Yunus. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we speak to one of the stakeholders, the BNP, which has also taken a very strong position when it comes to India. But the fact of the matter is that how does this really change in the subcontinent, and what exactly is Mohammad Yunus really hinting at? Is he really working at the behest of the West? All this and much more. Let's take you through some of the details that we are going to now put across what has really happened starting from 30th of August when the first release took place. On 30th of August, Jashimuddin Rahmani, who happens to be the chief of Ansarullah Bangla team, ABT, has carried out several attacks in India. Not just that, there was an infiltration bid that was foiled by the central agencies just about a few years ago, and this was carried out by the ABT. Let's move on. What happened? ABT affiliated to Al-Qaeda in Indian subcontinent, and they've had a widespread network not just in Bangladesh, but a few other countries in the subcontinent, and have been found out. Their role has been found out in at least 2 such cases in the state of West Bengal, multiple cases in Assam. Let's also take you through more details coming in. They've tried to establish a jihadi network in India. This is exactly what the Assam police as well as the other northeastern police have indicated from their investigation. Let's take you through more details of who this man is, and his release is an indication of what Mohammad Yunus is basically trying to do. There are certain instructions perhaps that have come in. So this is exactly what Mohammad Yunus has done in just the last few days. Let's take you through some more details now coming in. This is with regards to another terrorist that has been released by Mohammad Yunus in the last few days. This India's attempt that has been to try and negotiate with Bangladesh when Sheikh Hasina was in power, to actually tell you about how exactly ABT has been operating. Sheikh Hasina did actually listen to India, keeping in mind there was enough evidence against them. Hasina had banned ABT back in 2015. And now, without any hearing taking place in a court, you have Jashimullah already being released. Sweden Aslam, who's wanted in 12 different murder cases. In fact, his role is also under investigation in some cases here in the national capital too. He too has been released. This was just 2 days after Jashimuddin was released. Let's now take you through the details of the terror tapes. Ladies and gentlemen, just about a few years ago, we took you through a detailed investigation coming in of the JMB, another affiliate which found space in Bangladesh. In fact, several arrests that have been made by the central agencies in Bangladesh of JMB has really come in from the border areas. Now, the fact that several of them have been already released clearly goes on to indicate that Mohammad Yunus has taken a sharp Islamic turn. Take a look.
The caretaker government of Bangladesh, led by Nobel Peace Laureate Mohammad Yunus, has freed Jashimuddin Rahmani, the chief of the Ansarullah Bangla team. ABT is a terror organization affiliated to Al-Qaeda. Rahmani's organization has tried to infiltrate in India in an attempt to spread jihadi network. Yunus also met Hifazat-e-Islam leaders, an organization known for its anti-India stand. On August 30th, Yunus lifted the ban on Jamaat-e-Islami party, which stands against secularism. Today, he called issue on attacks on Hindus exaggerated. Yunus' tilt towards anti-India element is a matter of concern for India. India is keeping a hawk's eye on terrorists infiltrating from Bangladesh. On 7th August, Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh members, along with their India head, were arrested in Bengaluru. In the possession of these dreaded terrorists were pistols, ammunitions, metal cylinders, explosives, chemicals, and secret training videos. As Yunus' support for pro-Islamist elements is becoming evident, questions on safety of Hindus are being raised. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Shama Ubaid of BNP's Foreign Committee members joining us on this broadcast. Shama Ubaid, there have been certain messaging that has been done by the BNP over the last few weeks saying that India has perhaps made the mistake of putting all eggs in one basket. You tell me, Shama Ubaid, that Jashimuddin Rahmani, who has been released, Harkat-e-Islam members are meeting Muhammad Yunus, and the fact that these are all individuals who have been against India. Jashimuddin Rahmani is a terrorist who has carried out various activities in India. Are we to expect that things are really going to change? Because it clearly appears that Muhammad Yunus has taken a clear U-turn, and the fact that he's perhaps taking instructions from somewhere else.
Well, it's too early to predict, and it's too early to make any judgment on the current interim government, because it's only been a month that Dr. Yunus has taken charge and the interim government has been in place. With all due respect to India, when you say anti-India, what do you mean by the term anti-India? Because in last 1.5 months, we have seen the youth and the whole Bangladesh actually criticizing India for its stand for supporting the last Hasina regime for 14 years.
Ms. Ubaid,
yes.
You asked me a question as to what do I really mean when I'm saying that Hifazat-e-Islam taking an anti-India position. I'm just going to read out some of the statements that they have made, and the fact that this is the same very organization who's meeting Muhammad Yunus. Their position as far as Sharia law is concerned, their position as far as progressive elements in Bangladesh is concerned, everyone is aware of what Hifazat-e-Islam really stands for.
You have to get your facts straight. This same Hifazat-e-Islam Sheikh Hasina have sat with Hifazat-e-Islam, had 3 hours meeting with them, went to Hifazat-e-Islam rally and declared herself Qawmi Mata, which means, their mother. So basically, as far as BNP is concerned, we do not, there is no space for terrorism in Bangladesh. We will not tolerate any kind of terrorism in Bangladesh or in the region, and we are against it. The specific people that you have spoken about and you have shown in your footage, I would definitely suggest that the Indian government and the current interim government talk to each other and figure out why and under which conditions these individuals were released in last few weeks. So that is BNP stand, because BNP doesn't support terrorism at any cost on the soil of Bangladesh or in the region.
Can we know your position, your party's position vis-a-vis ABT, Ansar Bangla team, the fact that their name has emerged in several infiltration bid that was carried out in the year 2015, leading to ABTs being banned not just in India but also in Bangladesh. BNP seems to have taken a complete different position as far as ABT is concerned. For you, Rahmani could be a patriotic leader.
BNP hasn't taken any such position. As I said, if I am pro-Bangladesh, if I am speaking on behalf of my country and my country's interest, it doesn't make me or any other person anti-India. It's just that I am supporting and I am talking on behalf of my country and my country's issues. And specifically regarding ABT, I think, as I said, proper investigation should be done. Proper, thorough investigation should be done under what circumstances, why this interim government has led them, has made this release.
So you are demanding that Muhammad Yunus And his government, the caretaker government, should be looking into why ABT leader has been left out, but I don't see any sort of protest really coming in from the BNP, which happens to be one of the main stakeholders today in Bangladesh, about the concerns that many would have. These are genuine concerns that India has at this point in time, because it has got a direct ramification as far as national security, not just in India, but in the subcontinent. How is it that the BNP is extremely muted in their entire response?
See, India, You can't just isolate last 1.5 months and forget last 15 years. India has helped this undemocratic regime to be in power for so many years, and that's what the perception is in Bangladeshi people's mind. So they have to come forward and they have to gain the confidence of people of Bangladesh, and then talk to the interim government that how India-Bangladesh relation can go forward. Regarding BNP's stand on this, BNP is very clear. We want the country to be united. We want the country to be united and working together for a better Bangladesh. Of course, we want good relationship with India. India is our largest neighbor. BNP have always been tried to reach out to India, and no matter which government have been in power in India. But it is a two-way street. So it doesn't work one way. So India cannot afford to have just a good relationship with one person or one political party, which is Awami League, which they did for last 16 years. And the price, Bangladeshi people have to pay that price. So India have to change its foreign policy regarding Bangladesh and think how they can actually move forward and have a better relationship with Bangladesh in every aspect. So then they can talk about all these individuals who have been released and why they have been released. They should have a bilateral dialogue with Bangladesh, which we have seen that recent dialogues have been happened between Mr. Yunus and Mr. Modi, and they should continue that dialogue. And I think through that dialogue something positive will come up.
Final question that I want to take with you, because I have heard a few of your leaders essentially saying that BNP is open to talking to India. But India has been very clear about its position, that as far as perhaps talking to any political party, it can only happen when that political party does not really support any organization that is against us, against our national security. So are you saying, Ms. Obaid, that the BNP is ready to talk to India whenever the situation comes up, and you're willing to make your position very clear vis-a-vis Pakistan, vis-a-vis ISI, vis-a-vis even organizations which seem to be inimical to India in Bangladesh?
Bangladesh Nationalist Party believes in a kind of foreign policy where we will have a good relationship, bilateral relationship with all our neighbors and rest of the world, assuming that our Bangladesh's interests are met and our people of Bangladesh's interests are met first. So that in that regard, India is no different. India, we want a good relationship with India, but of course it has to be an equal relationship. It has to be India cannot afford to have a relationship only with one party, as I've already mentioned. BNP wants a united Bangladesh, and India has to understand that. And we want to continue to have a good relationship with India, but not when you say anti-India. If I am talking on behalf of my country, when I'm speaking on behalf of my country, my people of my country, it doesn't make me anti-India, or it doesn't make me anti-America or anti-China or any other country. I am just a nationalist. And I am supporting my country. That's what it means. So India has to come and make terms with that.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Obaid, for joining us on This Is Exclusive. Remember, as far as the condition in Bangladesh is concerned, as many are already indicating, that the sharp turn that the caretaker government has actually taken has only raised a lot of concern. And now the impending visit of Donald Lu. What does that essentially mean? A story that we'll be tracking very closely. Thank you very much. Shifting focus now to the other big story. The full picture, ladies and gentlemen, now coming in from RG Kar Hospital. On August 9, a 31-year-old doctor was brutally assaulted, raped and murdered. Thereafter, there was an attempt that was made to cover up this entire matter. The reason why we are saying Operation Cover Up is because of the kind of evidence that has now come out in the open. Two aspects that we are going to touch upon tonight, ladies and gentlemen. An order that was passed by the RG Hospital authorities and the medical department. The department that reports to Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. All this and much more on the other side.
You're really talking very wisely, and I can't help but break up the statement you gave about Bhagavad Gita. Yes. And I could see the impact it has had on you the way you're speaking right now. So how has it really helped you? If you could tell our viewers, do you read it daily, or how does it really come to your life?
So my mother is a Sanskrit and Hindi lecturer, and since childhood she is the one who actually kept me very disciplined and very what I had to do on priority. For example, if I have to do my homework or follow my routine and everything, she's the kind of person who would be like, you have to do it, that's your priority, do that first, and after that only I'll allow you for something else. So she kept me very disciplined and everything throughout my life. And now so initially she only told me about Bhagavad Gita and everything. So she is the person who is like, she tells me about history, she tells me about Indian mythology, or I say it history, Indian history I say. So she tells me about all these stories and the actual history of India. And then now I was like, you know what, I should probably start reading Gita thoroughly. And I have this meditation guru who actually tells me 2 or 3 verses every day, so that it helps me in my general life as well. Because how old it may seem, as old as it may seem, it is relevant in today's life as well. You only have to actually sit and try and connect it with your daily life. So for me, so many verses are there, but especially I really love one, that do your karma and do not focus on the result. अपने कर्म पूरी निष्ठा से करो, फल की चिंता मत करो. तो ये चीज है. And my coach always says, Jaspal sir, he always says, you do not get what you want, you get what you deserve. So these sort of things will always keep my head very, online.
Absolutely, and of course you do deserve what you've achieved. But the fact that you're talking about it very openly, very elaborately, you think it's important, because we've seen for the longest time people have not been very open about their beliefs, their faith, and they've just been, sort of guarded. You think it's important to always talk about it, and there should be no inhibitions in, talking about your faith, your culture, your traditions.
Honestly, I feel like India has a very, very rich heritage, rich culture, and we should all come together and actually celebrate it, and not be like, we need to change this thing in our culture. I mean, of course, we should eliminate all the bads that we have in our culture, but so many good things as well we have in our history or like heritage, culture, and everything. So we must cherish all that, and I am a kind of person, like, I am very open, I am accepting of other people as well. I mean, if you have certain beliefs, I do not expect anything out of you. I am open. If you have something that works for you, that's good for you. And I don't, it doesn't bother me what others believe. So I just, it's like, live freely, man.
One of the things that we are really proud about is the fact that India, Bharat, is the fastest growing major economy in the world, and will continue to be so. In fact, the way we've been going for the last 10 years, in the next 5 to 10 years, if we have political stability, if everything is right, there are no major risk factors, then we will be in a situation to be rivaling China. And
let's now take you through the full picture of what really happened at RG Hospital on 9th of August and why the lens is on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. The letter that has been accessed by Republic Bangla puts the full spotlight on Mamata's ministry. the Health Ministry. The decision that was taken by the department to carry out renovation, demolition work just adjacent to the scene of crime. Something that the CBI has actually told the court that the scene of crime was not intact. Now this is the full picture. Let's start with this and let me go across to my colleague Kishalai, who's joining us from Republic Bangla to take us through the first part of what we are now calling the full picture of what happened on 9th of August, 10th of August and the operation cover-up. First to you, Kishalai, take our viewers through the details of the letter that has now exposed the full cover-up.
Well, exactly, Shawan. 9th of August, the brutal rape and murder was all over the media. The whole country was talking about it. The body of Dr. Abhaya was recovered. What happens on 10th of August? The principal of RG Kar, was he really thinking about the murder in his institution? No, he was giving an order. What order did he give? I'll show you now. This is a letter, notification by the government of West Bengal, Office of the Principal, RG Kar Medical College, memo number RKC 4197. Now I'll mark out the portions and show you what happened in this order. Look at this date. 10/8/2024, 10th of August 2024. I'll remind our viewers, 9th of August is the date when Abhaya was found murdered and brutalized. On 10th of August, the principal gives out a notification saying, a notice saying, he writes a letter to the executive engineer of PWD saying, repair, renovation and reconstruction work of on-duty doctor's room is needed. Where is this on-duty doctor's room? It is just beside the seminar hall where Abhaya was found, a few meters away. Now he's saying, Sandeep Ghosh is saying that this needs to be done on an urgent basis. This needs to be done on an urgent basis immediately. He's again saying here, Shawan, we are hereby requested to do the needful immediately, right now. That's what he's saying. Do it right now. Break down the room right now. Now, this is not just his, this is not a statement or notice by just Sandeep Ghosh, but also the issue is already discussed and resolved in the meeting with Principal Secretary, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal. Narayan Swarup Nigam was there with him in that meeting where this was decided. And where was this happening? First of all, this was happening today, which means 10th of August. Where was it happening? In the boardroom of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, signed by Sandeep Ghosh, dated 10/8/2024. The Health Secretary of West Bengal, Narayan Swarup Nigam, very close to Mamata Banerjee, was sitting in the boardroom of RG Kar Hospital on 10th of August, evening 6:30 p.m., sitting with Sandeep Ghosh, deciding how to destroy and demolish all the rooms across the seminar hall. And this is what else is this if not tampering of evidence and removing crucial proofs and evidences from the crime scene where Abhaya was found. So this is an institutional method. People of West Bengal are saying that this is an institutional method of tampering with the evidence.
In fact, Kishalai, let's now tell our viewers the full picture of what happened on 9th of August, because this letter, ladies and gentlemen, that you see was of 10th when the meeting took place at RG Kar Hospital. Now I'll tell you what really happened on 9th of August and why that's the other fulcrum of this entire investigation. The 40 minutes cover-up mystery. This is linked to the letter that you actually see. The 40-minute cover-up mystery is because RG Kar Hospital and Tala police station is just about few kilometers away. This is about 5 minutes away. They received a call first around 9:30. 9:30 is when the body was recovered by an assistant professor of RG Kar Hospital. But after 9:30 till about 10 o'clock is they do not 10:10 is when the call actually goes. Receive the first call from RG Kor police outpost. That's when the diary entry is actually made by the police. The police officers thereafter leave for RG Kor. So what did they really do between 9:30 in the morning and 10:10 in the morning? That's the big question. We'll come to that. Around 10:30 thereafter, from 10:10 to 10:30, remember that's the time lapse that you see. Tala police station officers reach the spot, and that's when the scene of crime was secured. So almost for 1 full hour, the scene of crime was left completely unattended. The distance between RG Kor Hospital and Tala police station is just about 1 kilometer, which is about exactly 5 minutes. That's the distance that is there. But remember, for the police, it took way much more than that. Distance that you see is for about 5 minutes. But after the call that was received at 10:10, question number 1, why did the RG Kor Hospital take so much time to inform the outpost, which is just few meters away from the RG Kor Hospital? That's question number 1. Question number 2, what really happened between those few minutes? And this letter now proves that on the 10th, the scene of crime was tampered with, because there were RG Kor Hospital authorities, members who carried out a complete recce. They had carried out a survey, and it has been admitted by them that the survey was done. And thereafter, a handwritten note was prepared, and this note that you see finally was issued thereafter. And they, in their letter, say that urgent renovation work should have been carried out. Let me once again go back to my colleague Kishalai, who's getting us more details. Kishalai, we have also put out the 40-minute cover-up, and that 40-minute cover-up, now seen with this particular letter, raises some very uncomfortable question. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time with more exclusive stories.
largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano. 10th of August notice by Mamata's department exposes cover-up room next to crime scene, asked to be demolished. Big controversy over Himachal minister's remark on illegal mosque. Shimla residents stage protest. Hearing that took place in 2020 Delhi riots case, state alleges Sharjeel Imam and Omar Khalid led the riots. In a spine-chilling interview, actor Soumya narrates how she was assaulted and raped by influential directors. After back-to-back attacks, Hindus now being profiled, but Yunus says issue is being exaggerated. Vladimir Putin bats for peace talks, says China, India and Brazil could act as mediators. Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano. The room adjacent to the scene of crime at RG Kaur Hospital was demolished. This after an official order was actually passed on 10th of August. And this order was passed by a department that comes directly under Mamata Banerjee. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also holds the Health Department portfolio. And remember, this very notice that has issued on 10th of August that you see on your screens right now is exactly issued by the principal of RG Kaur Hospital, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. That's on your screens. Now, what you see on your screen is also the date. That's on the 10th. This came just a day after the body was actually recovered. The body was recovered on 9th of August. Now, following day, a meeting was actually held in the principal's office. And they admitted in that very letter that a survey was actually done on 10th of August. This when a day before a murder was reported from that very floor of the hospital. They carried out a survey. Following the survey, a meeting was carried out and it was decided that urgently they are going to carry out the demolition of a room which is just next to the scene of crime. In fact, what you saw, and we are going to now put those images out in a short while from now, when the demolition was actually carried out, questions were basically raised about how there is an operation cover-up at play. Now, what you see this right now on your screen is a letter that has been signed by none other than Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. And the full picture, ladies and gentlemen, is this, that on the 9th of August, too, questions are now being raised about the hospital authorities as to what were they really doing. First, the call that they made to the family members, and the first call, they said that this was a case of suicide and asked the family members to come to the hospital as soon as possible. Then they changed it. In fact, there were 3 calls that were made to the family members and 3 different versions actually came in. Between 9:30 in the morning to about 10:10 in the morning, there was something that was amiss and no one really knows what really happened. So how exactly was this demolition carried out? Were instructions actually given right from the top? Because this department reports to Mamata Banerjee. And that's the reason why the questions are now being asked as to whether at all there were certain instructions that were actually passed, Kishila.
Well, Shawan, this exact question that you are raising is very pertinent at this point of time because Mamata Banerjee who wanted to pass the buck on Sandeep Ghosh, and also TMC repeatedly said that it's Sandeep Ghosh or certain individuals who were connected to this and not the whole system, is now exposed. All of that narrative is now exposed as we show the letter. And this particular area of the letter, I'll just show you the particular portion where it is very clear that the issue is already discussed and resolved with the Principal of Health Secretary, with the Principal Secretary, Health Department, Family and Welfare, Government of West Bengal, and the Director of Medical Education, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal, today in the boardroom. Therefore, in the boardroom, there was a meeting that took place on 10th of August, and in that meeting, it was decided that this particular room will be demolished. Now, the question is, Mamata Banerjee's department, her close aide, this Narayan Swarup Nigam, the health secretary, who is always connected to her because no decisions are made within the health department when there is no nod from the chief minister. Her nod is the final call for all decisions made. Now, it is impossible to believe that he came down to RG Kor, sat for a meeting just one day after Abhaya was found, and the whole country was talking about it. The whole world was talking about it. Health Secretary came down, sat with Sandeep Ghosh, had a meeting, and then said that let's carry on with this demolition work. I'll also remind you that on 11th, there was a press conference by Narayan Swarup Nigam, the health secretary, where he gave out a statement saying that if there is anyone guilty, including Sandeep Ghosh, I don't remember the exact words, but what he meant in that press conference was, if there is anyone guilty, including Sandeep Ghosh, they must be punished, and something in that regard he tried to mention in that press conference. So he was sitting in that press conference while just one day before he was with Sandeep Ghosh planning the demolition and destruction of evidence at the crime site. Just imagine the hypocrisy within the system and administration of Mamata's government, and people of West Bengal are very angry today. Shawan.
Well, thank you very much, Kishala, for getting us the latest details. What we have essentially seen over the last few weeks is that not just doctors, nurses, but people from different walks of life coming out demanding justice for Abhay. Reclaiming the night has been the clarion call. This after some bizarre decisions have actually been taken by the West Bengal government in terms of even putting a gag order. Take a look at what really happened in Kolkata when the iconic Victoria Memorial went completely dark.
Kolkata continues to witness an uprising like never before. The city went dark for justice in the horrific rape and murder case of Abhaya. And this time, Abhaya's parents joined the chorus. They have now leveled scathing charges.
যখন আমার মেয়ের দেহ আমার ঘরে সাহিত্য ছিল, তখন ডিসি নর আমাদের ঘরের একটা গলিতে ঢুকে ঘরের ভেতরে তিনি আমাকে টাকা দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করেন এবং তার যা জবাব দেওয়ার আমরা সঙ্গে সঙ্গে কি জবাবটা দিই। ডিসি সেন্টার ইন্দিরা মুখোপাধ্যায় বারবার দেশবিল করে মিথ্যা কথা বলছে, মিথ্যাচার করছে। কারণ দেখেন,
her father even stated that the authorities tried to brand the incident as a suicide.
এটা তো প্রথম কাজ ছিল, সেটা কিছু করেনি। দ্বিতীয়টা, বেলা 11টার সময় আমাদের জানানো হয় আমার মেয়ে আত্মহত্যা করেছে। তারা কোনো মেডিকেল টেস্ট করলো না, আগেই তারা বলেছিল আত্মহত্যা করেছে। ঠিক আছে, কেন করেছে এটা সেটা তারাই জানে, তারাই করবে। পোস্টমর্টম করতে হাসপাতালে দেরি করলো কেন? পোস্টমর্টম তো সাধারণত 4-5টার মধ্যে করা উচিত ছিল। আমি 6:30 থেকে 7টার মধ্যে এফআইআর করলাম। আমার এফআইআর এর রেজিস্টার হলো কখন? 11:45 পরে দেখতে পাচ্ছি। ডাক্তার এখানে এত ডাক্তার থাকা সত্ত্বেও এত কিছু জানার পরেও পুলিশ একটা আনন্যাচারাল ডেথ কেস করলো। 12টা থেকে বিকাল 7টা পর্যন্ত আমরা আর্জিকর হসপিটালে পৌঁছেছিলাম, কিন্তু হাসপাতাল কর্তৃপক্ষ এবং ঊর্ধ্বতন কর্তৃপক্ষ কেউ আমাদের সঙ্গে ঠিক কথাও বলেনি।
The charges are damning. There was also an alleged delay in the post-mortem and an attempt to pass off the barbaric rape and murder as a case of unnatural death. Her father said that the family was asked to rush through the cremation rituals after they reached the crematorium. Her family questioned the haste in removing her remains from Archikar despite their plea for more time. The fury is unshakable, and the chorus only grows louder. And yet, there is nothing but faint glimmer of hope for justice that are propelling Abhaya's parents to continue to fight for her. The kin too demanded exemplary punishment to those directly and indirectly responsible for their daughter's fate.
আমরা তো চেয়েছিলাম বডিটা থাক, কিন্তু সেই সুযোগ আমাদের প্রশাসন দেয়নি। আমরা শুধু সবার কাছে একটাই দাবি, যে নারকীয় কাণ্ডে যারা প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে জড়িত তাদের দৃষ্টান্তমূলক শাস্তি হোক এবং
As the glaring allegations spill, the question is, just how deep-seated is the cover-up?
A political face-off has erupted in Himachal Pradesh over the alleged illegal construction of Sanjoli Masjid in Shimla. This after Congress leader, a minister, had demanded that the mosque should be razed because of the illegal construction that has taken place, resulting in massive protests taking place in Shimla. Take a look at this report.
Streets of Shimla filled with a widespread protest. Contentious dispute unfolds over the alleged illegal construction inside a mosque in Shimla's Sanjoli area.
Controversy have erupted over the illegal construction of mosque in Shimla, Sanjoli. So these are the visuals here where you can see that hundreds of the Hindu organization members are protesting and marching. They are saying that the illegal construction of the mosque building, which has been done from 2010 onward, should be demolished. Looking into this now, the hundreds of Hindu organization members are on road. They are protesting, they are marching, they are sloganing and saying that these structures should be demolished, and they have given an ultimatum to the state government and to the MC authorities as this case is pending with them.
Himachal Pradesh Minister Vikramaditya Singh has assured action based on the ambit of law.
तो उसमें मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि सरकार द्वारा कार्रवाई जहाँ तक उसके स्ट्रक्चर के इलीगैलिटी की है उसके ऊपर जो है वो कार्रवाई करवाई जा रही है। अभी तो क्योंकि ये मैटर म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन के जो कमिश्नर हैं शिमला के, उनके अधीन है, विचाराधीन है, काफ़ी लंबे समय से वहाँ पर पेंडिंग है, तो उसमें कितना स्क्वायर फुट अलाउड है, कितनी परमिशन उसमें ली गई है और कितनी नहीं ली गई है, वो तो वहीं पर ही उसका तय होगा अल्टीमेटली कि व्हाट इज़ द डिसीजन, और उसके बेसिस पर गवर्नमेंट एक्ट करेगी। अगर इलीगल है तो निश्चित तौर से उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई करवाई जाएगी, इसका मैं पूरा विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूँ।
Congress Minister Anirudh Singh earlier said that this is not an issue related to a temple or mosque. Singh stated that the issue is that of an illegal construction. Meanwhile, AIMIM leader Asaduddin Owaisi slammed the Grand Old Party over its stance. The case that is now set to be heard on Saturday at the Municipal Commissioner's Court will decide the fate of the construction. The corporation report claims of unauthorized construction within a religious building in Sanjoli. The Waqf board is actively challenging the case. The controversy erupted when Sanjoli residents and others rallied on Sunday, protesting against the alleged construction. Locals insist that multiple floors of the mosque were erected illegally in a remarkably short span of time. With the hill state grappling with its fresh crisis, what will be CM Sukhu's way forward?
Controversy has erupted over the illegal construction of the 3-storied building here in Shimla, Sanjauli. Hundreds of Hindu organization members are protesting regarding that. Already an ultimatum has been given that if the structure is illegal, it should be demolished as per the law. And regarding that, the issue has been raised in the Himachal session by the cabinet ministers Anirudh Singh and Vikram Aditya Singh. So the case is pending and the Hindu organizations are waiting for an action to be taken here. But people are quite angry over the construction which has been done illegally.
Security has been heightened in Jammu and Kashmir ahead of the assembly polls following a terrorist encounter in Thandimadi in Rajpuri district. Additional security personnel have been deployed in highways and vital road links in Srinagar and adjacent districts to prevent any untoward incident. Haryana Cabinet Minister Chaudhry Ranjit Singh Chotala resigned from his position in the Nayab Saini cabinet. Chotala expressed his frustration with the BJP for not giving him a ticket from Rania assembly seat. He announced his intention to contest the elections from Rania and emphasized his determination to demonstrate his strength through a roadshow. VHP and Delhi Sant Mahamandal submitted an MOU to Union Home Minister Amit Shah concerning the atrocities against Hindu minorities in Bangladesh. General Secretary of Delhi Sant Mahamandal stated that they met with the Home Minister to express their concerns about the situation of Hindu community.
आदरणीय गृह मंत्री जी से हम लोग मिले संतों के साथ और परिषद के अधिकारियों के साथ। उन्होंने हमें बड़ी गंभीरता से सुना है। हमने चिंता व्यक्त की है कि वहाँ का जो हिंदू है वो बांग्लादेश का ही नागरिक है और अपने नागरिक की रक्षा करना वहाँ की सरकार का कर्तव्य होता है, तो उन्हें करना चाहिए। और मुझे लगता है हमारी सरकार ने कहा है कि जो प्रारंभ में हुआ सो हुआ, अब किसी हिंदू के साथ अन्याय नहीं होगा। उसके लिए हम सतत वहाँ की सरकार से संपर्क में हैं और हम हिंदुओं की रक्षा करें।
2 people died and 3 are in critical condition after a bus carrying 32 students from Loyola School on the outskirts of the city of Manu in Karnataka collided with a government transport bus that was heading towards Raichur. Few of the injured children's legs have been amputated and many are grievously injured. Six Maoists were killed and 2 security personnel were injured during an operation carried out in the Bhadradi district of Telangana. This incident was reported near the border of Chhattisgarh. The operation was conducted by Telangana Greyhounds, resulted in a cache of weapons being recovered. This incident comes just a few days after 9 Maoists were eliminated in another encounter operation by the security forces. Following a major storm in the Malayalam film industry, Mollywood representatives from the Karnataka film industry, including social activist Vijayamma, actor Chetan and Shruti Hariharan met with Karnataka Chief Minister Siddharamaiah